I feel like we've talked about this multiple times in the past year, right?
We've talked about doing this, or we've talked
Just
about
like,
this.
just like how things have changed in general a little.
Oh yeah, sure. I thought you meant this stream idea.
No, 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 no.
We were literally gonna do this back in like 2018 or something.
It's been
it was
years.
way more relevant.
No, it's been years. So yeah, if anyone who doesn't know, you said 4 years ago, right?
It's been a bit.
Yeah.
When was the GBRB?
Oh man. I mean, I'll just check the Discord. Yo, Rainbow, thank you for the follow. I have it up, like, literally right in front of me.
Yeah, April 2018 is when it started, apparently.
That's wild. Yeah, I see. The first post I made was, yeah, April of 2018. Damn. April 4th, 2018, to be exact. Okay, so that's kind of wild.
Simpler time.
So yeah, so back then, yes. So back then, we had a lot of people come together. And we, as a Glitz Pit community, the community of challenge runners, we made a tier list. And I would say some badges were like one and done. Everyone made their vote and that was it. And others, it was like pretty hotly debated. So
people were very torn on Tornado Jump.
Super torn, man. So, anyway, it's been like 4 years since then. I've been doing spotlights. Now Infinite Pit has come out. There have been other mods, but like, really, I feel like, like I said, Jdaster and I have talked about this. But I feel like things have changed a little from what the meta was 4 years ago to what it is now. I don't think it's a big drastic change, but I definitely think there has been a change. So we figured not that we're updating the community list, but like we're making a new list kind of reflecting how our opinions have changed a little. That's it.
Yeah.
that's
it. I guess.
That's what the list is going to be. So, it's
Do we want to go over like vaguely what our own personal criteria tend to be? Or
I think
like,
so. Yes. So first off, let me just go over. We have 7, technically 8 tiers here. NA is for badges that you really can't tier.
This is specifically for challenge running uses. So like anything that has no combat use whatsoever, like is unrelated to combat.
Yes.
Is like that tier basically.
We didn't tier these badges in the Glitz Pit ranking either, so why would we tier them here? Basically, mods are not considered. No. It's not
Otherwise,
like
Peekaboo would be S tier.
I would not it's not like, especially something like hero mode. But I don't think
Infinite Pit shouldn't count either.
No, I don't think Shuffleizer or Infinite Pit should either. But it's not like.
Oh yeah, Shuffleizer, I suppose, is a mod that exists.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think Infinite Pit is like you can ignore it, because some stuff is still pretty vanilla, but like for the most part you don't want to, because some of the loadouts, and the way the enemies get stronger, it's not like you're not gonna see that in vanilla, basically, you know. Yo, Unikitty, thank you for the follow. So, okay, why don't you go first? You can go over what your personal criteria are.
I mean, this is coming from me, the person that did like a few pit runs and has done like a BP only Shuffleizer run. Like as far as folks that were active in the challenge running community, I have not done a whole bunch of different full game runs. So my opinion is more coming from the puzzle-oriented element of like, how do I crunch my strat down to the minimum possible level, minimum possible BP, any of that stuff. So it comes down to like, how often would I equip this if I were trying to go as minimal as possible? And also just generally like, of the whole scope of like, when could I possibly use this badge? Like, if it's a multi-hitting badge, that's only going to have application in things where there are multiple things to hit. Like, of all those possible use cases, how often am I going to use it?
Yeah. Just to keep... Just... in case you guys didn't know, when we did our first puzzle challenge, Jdaster did win. It was close, but he did win.
And then I rage quit the second one. Or more so, I just had tons of other things going on at that point.
That was the 64 one too, though, wasn't it?
I think I hosted that one.
No,
with
you
guys.
didn't even. No. You hosted the other TTYD one with us. I'm pretty sure.
No, that was Coop. That was only Coop, I think.
No. I did all of them. I didn't participate.
Yeah, maybe you vetted it.
I didn't participate in a single one, dude. Coop and I hosted all of those. We did every single one. The only one that wasn't hosted by us was the Bug Fables one. Okay, so my criteria is definitely different than Jdaster's. My criteria is really focused on, like, I don't care too much about BP cost for the most part. For me, it's like, it's really like, what am I using a lot to make clean, elegant strategies? So, like, if you've seen my spotlights, you'll have a pretty good idea. Like, if you've watched any of the videos or, like, seen any of the live spotlights, you'll have a pretty good idea of how I view badges and how I'm, like, strategizing. And you'll probably be able to easily guess for a fair amount of badges where I'm going to put them. But yeah, it's weird because, like, obviously, like, I try to be minimal with BP, but at the same time, like, for me, if I feel like I'm getting, if I feel like I'm using Power Plus a bunch, right, to, like, get that extra attack in, like, early game bosses, that to me would be higher despite the crazy 6 BP cost. Just to compare, I guess. You understand what I'm saying, right? Jdaster, you get it.
Sure. I mean, we're gonna somehow have to reconcile all these vague, slight differences in approach into a single list.
I think
we'll make it work.
I think it'll be fine because it's not like, you know. I get it. I get yours.
I don't think I've fully well explained it either. Like, it's not just BP cost. It's
no,
like
I know. I get it.
It is more it's in the grander sense, elegance, like you said.
Yeah. I think at
things that could be used as scoring points in a puzzle challenge, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna. Here are all the badges. Look at all of them. Beautiful. We're just gonna go through them all real quick. And then we'll be done. Yeah, let me really quick go through what these mean. Oh, when we're done with the list, we're gonna compare it to the old Blitz pill that we made as a community to see how different it is. Just a really quick, like, just a really vague what these mean. I mean, obviously, it's like the best badges. A, you know, super good. B, good. C, D, E, and F are all whatever. That's F, you shouldn't equip. That I feel like both you and I are like,
yeah.
Why equip these?
My threshold for E is if there's even a slightly conceivable reason one might be able to work this into a strat. Like, that's probably enough to graduate it out of F, because there are a fair number that's not the case for.
Yeah, right. You know, E is like super niche. D is like, you could probably get something out of it, but
there's like one legitimate use case for everything in D. Like,
yeah,
still not optimal necessarily, but like one could build a strat around it, and it would look like it could conceivably look optimal.
Yes, that's a good way of putting D. Okay, NA obviously is you can't use these in combat, and they're not like they don't do anything. They're cosmetic, etc. Like, you're never gonna use these. Yeah.
Here FX.
And like I think we'll just go through these in order probably.
Yeah. Just this way we have a nice like we don't just put all the S tiers in and then just
yeah. We're not gonna
less and less to say as we go.
We're not gonna front load anything. Yeah. A couple things to note. We didn't actually talk about this, Jdaster, but I do feel like we should be able to tier as if we can stack 2 of each.
I mean, what do we mean two? We mean like from Pianta Parlor or like?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, if you can get it from the Pianta Parlor, you can only have a max of
Like
2.
like one extra from the parlor, essentially.
Yes, because it gets kind of wild. It gets really wild if you start going farther.
Yeah, I thought you meant like 2 HP drain Ps. I'm like, ah.
That's exactly no.
I'll
Sorry,
see
I meant
when
I
you get
meant
any more of those. Two all or nothings.
God, that'd be incredible.
2 lucky
Okay.
days is at least somewhat conceivable.
It's what do you mean? It's actually there. No. You can get 2 lucky days. What do you mean?
Just fight your way through 90 days of lottery nonsense.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, that's it. Yeah. Are you ready to begin?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. All right, we're starting with the classic, the first badge in the game, power jump.
Funny how that works.
I'm just gonna
out.
put it in C first, so we can like move it up here.
Provisional C. Yeah.
I'm just gonna put them all in provisional C. Yo, what up, Veritas? Okay.
No.
I mean,
That's a dangerous move because then someone's just gonna screen cap it midway through. It's like, what do you mean? Double pain is in C.
okay, so it's the first badge in the game, and
It's not actually the first badge in the game. Amazy does raise a point.
wait.
But you can get it in the prologue, so it's basically the first badge in the game.
Oh, you can get pretty lucky first, can't you?
No, Power Smash is the first badge in the game.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I mixed it up. I was thinking of 64. Forgive me, everybody. Forgive me. Okay, yes, but you can get it in the prologue. Okay. I think I hotly debated this because this badge has one competitor, and it's spin jump.
Yeah.
And spin jump.
It is kind of its biggest weakness, and I don't know if that's enough to knock it out of the C tier, honestly. I think... Well, I don't know. You say your piece first.
I think the thing is, like, in the beginning, it is your spin jump, right? Like, until you get
Yeah.
spin jump, it's your spin jump, so it's great in Prologue and Chapter 1 when you have it. But, like, at the end of the day, like, stacking it is only going to get so far. I think stacking it when you have super boots is fine, but the FP cost can be really costly. You have to, like, really plan around it, you know? Like if
you're doing at that point, you're doing 6 in one hit for 4 FP.
Right. So like if you're
No, sorry, you're doing 8 for 4 once you have the super boots, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's +4. It's 2 + 2 + 4. Yeah. Which is like not bad. It's just 4 FP. But like if you're, I don't know, if you're doing like a. If you're in Glitz Pit and you're against Rockhawk and you want to do power jump, point swap to get to 1 HP, I mean, it's not bad. You could do it. It takes more than 2, you know, it's a 1-turn alternative compared to spin jump too, right? That's like what I'm thinking of. But like at the same, on the same coin, do you really need it when spin jump, you can just slap on a power punch and do it twice and deal like probably twice the damage. Like it depends on if you're going for a turn 2 or turn 3 kill.
Like so what are you debating here?
Like I guess I'm thinking here's what I'm
C versus D or like
yeah, I'm thinking C versus D to be honest.
And I think the thing that saves it for me is the fact that like pre-Hooktail Pit exists and it's a legitimate. Like, this is always going to be what it is for me.
Yeah, pre-Hooktail Pit.
It's in PHP, and that artifact...
It does. No, it does.
Inflates the use.
It does. It does.
Because, like, you don't have other good ways of...
It's true.
Like, besides the power smash and jump badges, you don't have good ways of doing more than base damage with Mario. Like, you have Fire Drive, but sometimes you can't hit things with Fire Drive. Some things are immune to fire.
You're right. That is pretty good. And if you're doing pre-chapter 2, like... Wait, that doesn't matter. Spin jump is just better. Okay, you have to have 2 to be better than spin jump. I think you're right though. If you're doing pre-hooktail pit, yes, I would say that saves it too.
Like, I don't think it's a high C, but like, I don't think we care too much about.
No, I don't really
placement
care.
within tiers.
Yeah,
we could be here for days.
No. We're just to preface now, I guess. I'll put it in the video or something when I edit it. These will not be. I think we'll order maybe S.
Sure, maybe
A.
Maybe.
But like, I don't think we need to order anything below.
I think
2.
even A is gonna be a stretch.
Okay, well,
maybe like top 5.
I wouldn't mind ordering S, although our
We'll see.
opinions
Yeah, I
on
mean, yeah.
top 10 or 5 might be too different. But anyway, we're not going to order within anything below A for sure. Like, there's no way. Okay, I think C is good because it's got its use in pre-hooktail pit. You can make something out of it in the earlier chapters. Even once you get spin jump, you just have to stack it to get. Like, the only way you're doing better than spin jump in chapter 3 is stacking it to get the 4 FP 1 turn point swap. You know?
Yeah.
After that, and once you get ultra boots, it has no place being used ever again, because spin jump is just better in every conceivable way.
Nope, I agree. We've managed to wax on for 5 minutes about.
Hey, that's good.
One of the most basic badges.
Listen.
we
I had
pad this stream time somehow.
Well,
man.
listen. All I'm saying is I had a lot to say about power jump when it came up in the ranking.
This is fair.
Some of these are gonna be a one and done for sure. Like, not much to say.
Hey,
all right,
I will go on about attack FX. Or
absolutely.
Yes.
All right, multi bounce. I think.
So this is one that I'd like to hear your opinion on, because you used to be way more like a fan of this than I was.
You know, the thing is, like, it's only good in the pit, man. Or, like, overworld. Like, you're only using it in the pit to, like, get through it quickly, right? Like, in pre-hooktail pit, it can be used a couple times, right? To, like, get something extra, but, like, I feel
you're
like...
doing 1 damage with it. Like, 1 or
exactly.
2 if you go in with power plus.
Exactly. I just feel
or
like...
3 if you go in with the one from the, like...
I think multi-bounce has no use in pre-hooktail pit unless you're not using Mega Speed. Because
I think even then it's a stretch.
Well, yeah, you're right. But, like, if you did have the power plus, it's like, you could knock, like, a bandit loadout, you know, with power shell. Like, that would be a pretty good use to, like, not suffer through one of those loadouts.
Yeah.
And...
Because the thing is, it takes a lot. Like, it's fast. It's the most versatile move Mario has that is not a star power for taking out enemies in a group.
It's true.
You kind of have to load up on the power for it to be of that much use.
Yeah. But, like, if you have that power, I mean, it literally shreds the pit endgame.
Yeah.
Like, it actually shreds it. Hold on. Amazing. Danger Mario is not a factor. Like, true Danger Mario? Like, 5 HP max? No. We're not talking about that here. So, like, I'm thinking about, like, some bosses, right? Like,
yeah.
You're not going to use it against Smorg. You have a Thunderbolt. Or, like, if you're not using items, you have Earth Tremor. And if you're not using either of those because of some run, you have partners who can do it too. Like, Fiery Jinx can get the job done, right? Like, you have to, and if you're, the only time you're not using it, like, you're probably using it is Mario alone. But that's a really specific run. Like, one run where it could be useful against Smorg. Like, you're not using it against Shadow Sirens, Redux, maybe the actual Shadow Sirens, but, like, I'm probably tremoring.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it's tough. I'll use it, like, in normal battles, you know? Like, if you're just in a normal loadout and you Shell Slam, multi-bounce, you probably can't go wrong for a good portion of late game, but,
yeah.
like, do those really in the grand scheme of things, do I care about what I'm doing in every like normal battle? No. So, like I don't know. It's weird because like a lot of people will think the normal battles really give it an edge, but I'm not
like
really.
this is the Cooper of this game. I feel it's like the utility is entirely based on how much weight you feel on putting on non-boss.
Sure,
battles.
sure. No, yeah.
Because for boss battles, you have Smorg question mark. You have Shadow Queen, but only the side hands form.
Yeah,
you can't rely on that.
Yeah, it's weird. So I don't even know if
limited in use.
Like the thing is like it's wild because it's the thing about some of these badges is, which we've talked about, is that like sometimes they're very, very good. Sometimes they're very, very not good. So I don't.
This is not either of these. Like this is one. It's like I feel like its strength is not something that you use that much in a challenge runs that have names at the very least.
I'm not gonna lie. Right now, it's between like D and C for me. I'm leaning more towards D, actually.
I don't know if I'd go quite that hard.
I know.
I don't know. It's tough because even I, who I was kind of skeptical of the use of this badge, rated it higher than C last time. But I'm not justifying that now.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Back then, it was different. I guess I think the pit can probably save it from D for me. It's still a powerful option.
Because the thing is, it is unique. It is the only Mario move that can hit every enemy.
And I mean, it does let you. It does enable Mario to do some attacking in Mario alone. That's not just Tremor.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Which the star powers are stiff competition.
It is. Exactly. Like they are. So I guess C is probably okay.
But its uniqueness, I think, at least saves it. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think C.
Every badge is gonna be C.
No, it's definitely not true.
No, they're not. The next three.
Definitely not true. No, this. What do you mean? What do you mean? We don't even need to say anything about Shrink Stomp, do we?
This is one of those very borderline cases for me.
Really? Wait, what was the case? I can't. Oh, I did Shrink Stomp, didn't I?
I don't recall.
I can't remember. I did Soft Stomp. I did Soft Stomp.
If you're doing a damageless run, or you have Yoshi, but still, I don't know. You're against Dupless?
No, DeSalle. You can't, because you can't do badges without the vacuum of the rest of your repertoire, because I think it's doing the badges a disservice if you're not including the star powers that it's competing with.
Or the partner moves.
Yeah, or the partner moves, or
you have to consider
items,
Power Shell and Shell Slam and Fiery Jinx and all that.
No, and items too. Not all runs don't exclude those, so I feel like you can't put them in a vacuum. It's gotta encompass the rest of your arsenal. Otherwise, you're talking about situations that will never come up in an actual challenge run, because you're going to be using the better options, right? So you have to think about those. You can't just put them in a vacuum. So yeah, when you're talking about multi-bounce, Earth Tremor is a big competitor. No, so that's the thing. That's wild, because one attack you can
You can assume that, DeSalle, if we're talking about badges that disappear after you get to the end of Chapter 1. Which there aren't any of. It's not doing, placement within the game matters a lot. Wait. You're essentially saying to ignore that.
Whoa, that's not, DeSalle. Hello? Whoa. DeSalle, no, almost every boss, and most late pit enemies resist Showstopper. Come on, man. No. Showstopper does not blow everything out of the water.
It blows every normal enemy after Chapter 6 that is not in the pit.
Yeah, also, it's wait a minute. You don't even get Showstopper until after Chapter 6.
We are not including sequence breaks.
Yeah, we're definitely not including that. Anyway, Shrink Stomp sucks, I think.
I don't know if there's enough to... I can't come up with a concrete enough example to move it into E for me. I remember using it once or twice in community challenges, but I don't know how.
It might have been against Grubba or Rockhawk?
I think it was for Dupless, but that may have just been
Dupless.
because of the like some of the silly conditions we had about like you have to have P in the name or not in the name or something.
Oh,
it's like,
yeah,
okay, fine.
yeah.
We're just gonna make this all about like double stacked jump badges or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think the thing
There's
is
a select number of bosses where -2 attack is really useful, but like it's really niche given that you have, even in that scenario, you have mini egg, which is far better against
exactly.
like, bosses.
And you get power lift right after chapter 3, and that takes care of everything for you. Like,
I mean, not everything, piercing damage, but like
okay, but listen, man.
In practice, yeah.
Are you really gonna be shrinking piercing enemies?
Hey man, that Daisy song is really funny.
You're right.
Also, they're super resistant to shrink, so you're not gonna hear it.
So yeah,
I'm cool with F, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm still of the mind that this one belongs slightly above average, just because it is such a lifesaver in some like PHP.
I think in like definitely the no Mega Rush P, any no Mega Rush P variant, Sleep Stomp is greatly appreciated. Can't you? Isn't it in Prologue Pit too? Did you get Sleep Stomp? You have access to?
Yes, it's in the pit.
Oh, sorry. Jesus, it is in the pit. LOL. All right, yeah, so it's good. It's great in those too.
Like 5 turns?
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That's just get out of jail free, man.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That is lots of time to set up with a sweet treat or whatever else you need.
Yeah, like whatever you need to do, heal, set up, like it.
It combos into imagination. It's slow.
I think.
So I wouldn't put too much stock on it being used later in the game.
It is floor 10, Veritas. Here's the thing.
Yes.
Later, I think Sleep Stomp gets worse. As you become more powerful, Sleep Stomp falls off really hard. Because there's like even in like chapter 1, I'm not putting things to sleep. Like or chapter 2, no. Like you're so like I don't know if I'm gonna consider it above average just because of its ability to sleep. Because some enemies are resistant to sleep as you get down the pit too.
Like they're a surprising number that it works pretty dang well on even late on.
Sure.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
But like,
maybe
I'm not seeing it really being used too much. I don't know what were you thinking of. Where were you thinking
this is where my pit bias probably comes in. I would have thought it was a fairly clear-cut, like, kind of lower B.
I don't definitely am not thinking.
Okay.
If anything, I would put it in C. But this is another C or D.
I think it's better than the 2 of these. For me, it's the best of those 3 badges. I mean, you can make a case for Molda Bounce being the best of those 3, but
we're not really ordering within, so
like I definitely wouldn't put it lower than C, just because of just how many scrapes it can get you out of.
I mean, I guess the prologue stuff. Yeah, I guess the prologue pit stuff really can help you out. Like it and the no Mega Rush P variants. Like, I would agree. It's definitely a. Okay, I think C's good. Solid.
Every badge is gonna be in C, like I said.
Oh my god. Okay, Soft Stomp. I don't even know where we put Soft. I don't even remember. I think this was an easy F, but I just did a spotlight on this.
I was gonna say you just did this.
So
like,
let me talk.
I put the sure you.
Let me talk about it really quick. Soft Stomp is discount Power Rush. Okay, on any enemy that has 2 defense or more, it's discount Power Rush. Does that make it good? No, but it does give you a really cool use for it against certain bosses.
Particularly the ones that have,
2
bosses
defense.
with defense.
Like Gloomtail.
And like Shadow Queen that has the... Well, the thing about Shadow Queen, actually, I don't know if this is common knowledge, she determines whether she can re-up her, her power lift move is dependent on whether she currently has defense up or not. So if you kill her defense up, she can re-up it, immediately.
That's actually amazing.
Which is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
But,
Do I think Soft Stomp is better than F tier? Yes, I do.
I think
Because
so.
of the spotlight made me realize that
It's 1
you
BP.
can use it. It's 1 BP. It's like it's 3 FP, right? Like
2 FP.
oh, sorry,
2 FP.
two. That's even better. Like
It's as minimal as you could expect a move
listen,
badge
the thing,
to cost.
the fact that you can actually build something around it and get rid of a power rush, I think is hilarious. And it's not bad. Like I said, it's discount power rush. You don't even need the power rush to get the attack. Like to get more damage if you pull it off. And like the bosses that you're using it on, it's actually not like the chances are pretty good. Like they're definitely in your favor.
They're basically never low. Like,
Yeah.
I think 80 is about as low as they go.
It's pretty damn good. So it's like, I think for me, I don't think I can put it in D, but this is an easy E for me.
Like this was lowest D for me, I think, and I have no qualms pushing it down slightly, especially if we're going to be shifting Shrink Stomp down. I imagine
Yeah.
we'll be doing this for other badges that were borderline for me.
Yeah, I just don't think, like, it's not like I'm going to be using Soft Stomp in a niche way a bunch of times, but, like, those couple bosses, sure, I'll do it, you know? So, for me, yeah. Definitely E. The Spotlight helped a lot. If I didn't have that Spotlight, I don't think I would have thought of it that way.
Are we going to have to do a multi-bounce spotlight to justify that badge?
No, I don't know how I'm going to do that one, dude. It's just going to be Shadow Sirens. And Shadow Sirens with duplex.
Reminder that this was like a top 10 or honorary mention for you, like back
It was,
in
dude.
2018.
I know, dude. I gotta redo my top 10. That video's coming soon. Ish.
It's just going to be all the danger badges.
Shh. Shh. Listen, if you want to see my spotlight, let me put it in. Yo, go check out my spotlight on YouTube, bro. Those strats are sick. Just go watch it. I actually really enjoyed the Soft Stomp spotlight. It was very fun. And if I'm having fun with the badge, can it really be F tier? Okay, tornado jump. All right, here we go, man. Listen, I also did a spotlight on this badge. You know where this badge is going? Here.
Were you having fun with it?
I was. F for fun. This is where.
No.
This is.
No. If you 5-stack it, you can one round the X Yuxes.
You're right. You're right. Listen,
For a
all
mere
I'm saying
48
is.
FP.
All I'm saying is, tornado jump. You have to do. Yo, what up, Gengar? For tornado jump, all you do is be outclassed by everything else. The amount of support I had to do to pull off those strategies for tornado jump, also on YouTube, by the way, was wild. It was a lot. So, yeah, I don't know. It's really not. It's never going to be worth it, in my opinion. I don't think you're going to really have any qualms about it.
Oh no. So to qualify for those, I mean, if you're not super familiar with TTYD's battle system, I question why you're here in the first place. But if you're somewhat familiar with TTYD's battle system, enough to know like how stats work, but have just not used this badge for whatever reason, it does base jump damage at a single hit on one enemy, and then hits all other aerial enemies. Like non-grounded enemies, of which there are not very many, with a piercing, unchanging 2 damage attack that has no side effects. So essentially, at best, you're getting like a weak Earth Tremor tacked on to a single, like a worse than power jump for 3 FP.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's like. It's kind of indefensible.
Yeah. And I did a spotlight on it. It was bad. It's just bad.
See, Cloud, though, that might have actually made sense if those Buzzy Beetles were on the ceiling. It still would have been better to just Quake Hammer everything.
Right.
But in theory, you could hit them with the tornadoes if they were on the ceiling.
Well, the first of easy S tiers.
A tier, yeah, for sure.
Power bounce. Oh, Gengar, it's like he didn't come in during the criteria. Basically, It's more about like how it can be used in a strategy and how efficient it can make your strategies. So like BP count, turn count. What are you like? What's it competing with to do the same thing? Damage output is pretty good though.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's much that needs to be said about this.
There's not a lot to be said about power bounce. But for those who aren't, for anyone who's not aware what power bounce is, it just lets you bounce multiple times on enemies. Yo, Agent, thank you for the follow. And most enemies you can it's capped to like an absurd number as long as you can keep hitting one frame A presses. But on bosses, it gets capped to like 5 or 6. But even that 5 or 6 is enough.
Generally 6 or 7. It's only like Bone Tail and Shadow Queen.
Oh yeah,
5.
yeah, like 5 to 7, I would say. And those like it's enough to like literally waste away. Like you can waste away bosses in one turn. Provided you need a little setup, but if you look at any of my strategies, like I think even my soft stomp, even like power bounce and Goombella's multi-bonk are the same move. So if you see one of them used, like that's why. Almost all of my strategies usually have some kind of like use with these two moves, you know? Like it's everywhere. Multi-bonk and power bounce are everywhere. And oh, there's this notice that got hidden. Yeah, I don't think if you have anything else to add about power bounce, Jdaster.
Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, I'm not gonna talk you down from S, that's for sure.
No. Can't wait. Maisie's asking if you can get another power bounce.
Yeah, normally you can't. No.
Okay.
They go up by 1 power in exchange for doubling the FP cost.
Which is worthless.
So wouldn't really be worth it even if you could get more than 1.
Yeah. Easiester. Okay, the real first badge in the game. Power Smash. Okay. Was this hotly debated? Which one was better, Power Smash or Power Jump? In the beginning?
It was, I'm sure.
I think Power Jump's better.
Yeah, I think that's...
But I think
that's still the same... Yeah, I don't know.
Here's the thing. Power Jump, Power Smash, it doesn't matter. You can use Power Jump. So here's the thing. Power Jump has more hazard-inducing, right? It has a higher chance of inducing hazards.
It's the same. It's the same.
They're the same? Then Power Jump is better.
I like how that's your criteria. That's the one that makes the difference.
No, because I was thinking about like pre-Hooktail Pit no Mega Rush P Bone Tail fights where like it can actually
then you just use freaking Piercing Blow. If you don't want hazards.
It's true. Okay, you're right. Fair. That's actually better.
Not that it makes Piercing Blow any better.
No, you're right. So the thing is, like,
you're using this for 4 damage on like things that you couldn't hit with Power Jump, like spiky things, and that's basically it.
Yeah, but what's like, you know, as
Phantom Embers,
as you have to say
and
to
what
like
else?
a couple's like a spiky Paragloomba in the pit.
Good.
Listen, spiky. There are not enough spiky enemies to justify this being over Power Jump for sure. Power Jump is literally the same thing, but you can hit basically anybody.
Yeah, range is kind of the killer for Hammer in general, and given that you have access to this and like both of these badges at the same time, like as soon as you do any actual fighting, you can go to the shop and buy Power Jump.
And why use Power Smash at that point, you know? So, like, and the difficulty of the action command has nothing, like, not for challenge runners. You should be hitting those action commands.
To be fair, you can get slightly more audience because you can do 4 stylishes instead of 1.
Well, that is true, but I don't know if that's really enough.
Pretty diminishing returns if you're hitting your action commands consistently.
Yeah.
because the audience will stop scaling
yeah,
up if you're way above where you should be.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Power Smash is between D or E because of how outclassed it gets.
No, I agree. I mean,
I would put it in E personally.
I might.
Because I don't think D.
I don't have to see. Like, if we end up flooding these lower tiers, I'm fine moving it up to D.
Okay,
but
I think
really
for now.
Yeah, we'll leave it in. I mean, do we think it's better than Soft Stomp?
The thing is, like, I'm using Soft Stomp more than I'm using Power Smash.
We've really just recreated their positions in 64, and
like
I'm not really disagreeing.
Like that's what I'm. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm doing the same thing. I guess
do suck.
Yeah, but like, is that one enemy enough to move it from E to D? Like, it still has that one niche use against Phantom members.
I don't know.
Like.
I mean, you get the one extra damage because the background is going to fall eventually.
Oh my god, but you can do that with Power Jump.
Well, not on a Phantom member.
Not on a Phantom member, you're right. But I just don't think one enemy is enough to move a badge up.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like
realistically, what else is there? Actually, what else is there?
Like, here's the thing. You could just piercing blow a Phantom member. You're still gonna Power Shell twice with Koops.
What did piercing blow?
What? I'm just saying, I'm just saying, like, oh, you don't even need to. You could just okay, alright, listen.
People are really bad at Phantom members.
Let me talk about this for a second. Let me talk about this for a second, okay? When you think about Power Jump and Power Smash, they are literally the same attack, okay? Like, do not get confused. They are the same attack, okay? Power Jump...
Unless you have Hammerman on...
Sure. But like
Power Jump is at least as good range-wise and damage-wise.
Let's talk about this for a second, right? Unless it's spiky or fiery, which there are few of, Power Jump is literally Power Smash, but you can use it anywhere. There is no reason ever to use Power Smash over Power Jump unless you're fighting a fiery or spiky enemy, right? Okay, now listen to me. People are saying pre-hook tail pit. People are saying pre-hook tail pit is like a big thing for Power Smash, right? Listen. If you're fighting the 5 Phantom Ember loadout, okay? And you're using Koops, you can Power Smash to kill one of the Phantom Embers, okay? That's one Phantom Ember well, I guess technically 2 because you'll get the first strike, right? So, what you're equating Power Smash's usefulness to is one less Phantom Ember attack in a line of 5 Phantom Embers, which is the worst one you can get, okay? All I'm saying is, you're not, like, that one extra attack that you're saving is not enough to move Power Smash up, when in every other situation, Power Jump is better. Why are you using Power Jump when Power Smash when Power Jump is right there? By that, like, Power Smash is useless, basically. I don't think it's F tier, because obviously it has some uses, but, like, you're using Power Jump way more. And, like, you're probably using Power Jump. Like, Power Smash and Power Jump are the same for strategies when looking at Spin Jump. Like, I don't think Prologue Pit is also enough, though, because you have Fire Drive, and it's the one enemy. You guys are like, oh my god, Phantom members are the worst enemies. I can't super guard them. They suck.
Hey, hold on. To put a pin in Prologue Pit, you do still have Power Jump there. The badge shop opens before you beat Blooper.
It's true.
So that is not even a point in its favor.
It's all about Phantom members for you people.
And Dark Claws if you don't have the FP for Fire Drive.
Listen, dude. We can't be that specific.
Apparently we can.
I just don't think, and then, like, they might be the same badge, but, like, I feel like if I'm using Power Jump over Power Smash all the time, then Power Smash sucks. And it should go lower than Power Jump, because I'm at least using Power Jump. Sometimes. More.
Like, I would still put it in either tier, depending on where other things happen to fall.
I guess I could be swayed for D, maybe. Because of Prologue Pit. Maybe. Because Phantom members in Prologue Pit are much worse. And Power Smash is nice. There. But it's no way it's in the same tier as Power Jump. For me.
No, for dang sure.
I guess for now we'll leave it in D. I guess that is a fair point, but I'm like, I can't justify one enemy really helping or hindering a badge for me, man. Like that's
Only one stylish move is needed to do maximum SP regeneration. You get a tiny bump in audience if
Yeah.
you do more than one.
Yep.
Tiny to non-existent if you're very far ahead of whatever your target is.
I only do one stylish on my hammer because of that. Because it's all you need.
Okay, we're 30 minutes in, and we're
right.
a tenth of the way through the
It's
badges.
alright.
This one definitely won't be controversial at all.
Alright, Krister, I understand. Oh, piercing blow? See, this... I mean... I feel like this is an F tier. But I want to know what you think.
You have... Like, what do you realistically have? You have Moonclefs, you have Bonetail, because you would probably use this over Power Smash, because of... But, I mean, you'd use Fire Drive if you had the FP for it. Like, this is a, like... My other options are just not working out for me here.
Would that...
Like, because...
Would that be enough for E tier for you?
I think it's enough for E. Like... It saves you from having to do extra super guards, and that's about all it's got going for it in terms of the
I mean, I guess
non-Bonetail
I guess,
applications.
yeah, when I'm thinking about it, it's really not, like, that bad, because, like, sometimes you...
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, because you've got chomps as well, and other things that you just can't damage via anything else.
Yeah, sometimes
like,
you have the FP to burn, and it's fine. It's totally fine. It's 2 FP. It's fine. But yeah.
I could put it on par with Power Smash.
No, I could never.
You've just been talking Power Smash down as if it does nothing.
Piercing blow is worse than Power Smash. Though, is it not?
I mean, we've come up with one concrete use for Power Smash.
Listen, I still think Power Smash should be E.
Okay, fine. Move them all down to E then.
All right.
I'm fine with that.
Yep, it's happening. It's happening. I think Power Smash. I think Piercing Blow is worse than Power Smash, personally. Maybe not enough to be an F, but I think it's worse.
I think it's closer to Power Smash than either of them is to Power
And I guess
Jump by a long shot.
you're using them both for the same like reason.
More or less.
No, it's not just that, Cloud. It's
reducing the number of attacks from enemies that you otherwise have no other means to deal with.
But it's also if you don't want to,
and on Bonetail if you don't have Fire Drive
for hazards. Like if you don't want to get rid of hazards, because Piercing Blow gives you the 4 stylish, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Like if you want to have less hazards, then I think that's fine. I don't know, man. I think Power Smash in D and Piercing Blow in E is pretty fine. If I'm being honest.
I don't see why you'd put it above it by an entire tier.
Okay. Because they're being used for the same enemies, basically?
The same or equivalent enemies, basically. Like, they both save you from extra attacks from, like, a couple of different enemies in situations where you don't have other means of attacking them. Like, you have Moonclefs, you have, like, Chain Chomps, you have other super defensive stuff with Piercing Blow.
Yeah. Like, and I'm
versus
definitely...
you have just Phantom Embers and maybe Dark Claws if you're totally out of FP for Power Smash.
Yeah,
and
you know what?
Neither of them works on Bonetail.
I'm agreeing.
So, like, they're basically equivalent, and they're both totally worthless outside of PHP, basically.
Okay,
like,
I'm agreeing with you. Then they're both E because I don't think they're good.
I think that's fair.
They can be used. This is not a casual tier list, Bloon. This is for challenge runners. Strictly combat focused. Okay. At least we got another easy F tier next.
Yeah, this is one that's like there's no attack like it, but I fail to see any reasonable set of restrictions you could put on yourself to make this ever worth going for. It causes no stage effects. That's unique.
That means nothing.
If that 2% of chance of a falling object is a deal breaker for you, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think hammer throw just has nothing. There's just nothing. It doesn't even have extra attack. Like, it doesn't have anything. It's just you're spending FP to do what jump would do. You're spending FP to do what power jump would do.
But without the extra power.
Yes, exactly.
And when you get it, it's late enough in the game that you basically have... it's nearly late enough in the game that you have, like, Spike Shield and Ice Power anyway.
Exactly. I just... Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Alright, Head Rattle. Another nice F tier.
This one, like, might be lower than all the rest for me, honestly.
Damn, dude.
Like...
But I'm not
I don't know. Tornado Jump is kind of indefensible, but like...
Should Tornado Jump
this
have its
one
own
just
tier?
so sabotages itself.
I
like,
know.
The whole point is you're making the front enemy a weapon. Maybe.
Yeah. And
but then you have to avoid hitting it.
Yeah, and you can't you can only target the front, which really, it's too bad. I feel like I was actually just reading your the one you put on Super Mario Files earlier today, and you were like, it's just
well, that's ancient.
No, I know, but like, just like what you
that's
said
always
about...
been my argument against this particular badge.
Well, what you
It's
said
just
about
like,
Head
it's
Rattle.
self-defeating.
Yeah, what you said about Head Rattle was like, it's just like, it's such a cool status, but you can't really utilize it. Because it's on I can only attack the front kind of thing.
If only there were a way to always get the benefits of confusion and have other benefits on top of that. Anyway. Not in vanilla TTYD.
Alright, Ice Smash.
Hey, if Head Rattle and Hammer Throw were combined into a single badge, there'd be a little tiny bit more use for that, at least
that'd be
for messing around.
E tier for me.
But you've also got, like, Infatuate to do that.
That's true. Alright, I think Ice Smash, again, like...
This one has one interesting no, only one, really. And that is, it pierces Grotus X defense. It was not intended for it to do that, I'm sure. But... It's
because it's elemental, right?
Yeah, because they only increases normal.
I don't think that
defense.
saves it, though.
No, not at all.
Absolutely not. It's F tier all the way.
But it's a fun fact. Yeah, this does, like, it costs 3 FP to get an enemy more immobilized than Sleep, to be fair, but it only works on the front enemy. It's got very bad chances of working on virtually anything, and it's for 2 turns. 2 turns.
Yeah, it's bad. It bad. Next.
Also, you have clock out. Like, you always have clock out.
It's true.
If you have this, unless you're specifically using, like, things that restrict you from using star
the
powers,
thing about freeze and stop is that while freeze has that, like, you take damage when you're unfrozen, I think that, like, you're competing with clock out the entire time.
Yeah.
Just to let you guys know, we're not ordering within tiers, so, like, some badges may be better than others within a tier, but it's not like we're not caring too much about that. Like, that's a little too specific. At least for this joint tier list, it's a little too specific. I feel like maybe if we did an individual one, we could be a little more precise. But for this, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, we're never gonna agree on the precise location of the hammer badges, apparently.
Okay.
We could go on all night.
This
one saddens me. Like, I feel like I was...
This one, I think, is another hot topic.
Like, this is one that I think I was more positive on before. And, like, the thing is, I wish this were earlier in the game, just slightly. This would be a really nice asset for PHP.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like, so good.
So
It'd be a poor man's fire drive, and it would even work on some things it doesn't work on. Like, frickin' Dark Bristles.
Like... I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to use Quake Hammer on that I'm not just going to Earth Tremor. Or Art Attack. Or multi-bounce with Spike Shield.
I think the placement in the game just kind of removes basically any reason you would want to use Quake Hammer in a challenge run. I don't know if it's quite to F tier level, but it's like...
When do you get it again?
Chapter 2, early.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, Chapter 2 early. Because I'll use it against the Shadow Sirens to get the tree to fall on them. But like,
it does have the highest chance of making that happen, but of standard moves at least.
but like, what else am I using it on, man? I guess. Okay, wait. Pit, Glitz Pit I would use it too. Like against certain.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like definitely the Coopinator for sure.
Yeah,
like,
Coopinator for sure.
But is a Glitz Pit battle enough to really save it? I don't know. I think it's all right, but like later on, right? Once the second you get Spike Shield, it's done. There's no reason, because I feel like my primary use is to flip over spiked Koopas.
Yeah, I mean, you can still do that on a whole set, but I guess you also have multi-bounce for that at that point.
Exactly.
I mean, you have things that aren't flippable with jump. You have, like, bristles, again.
Sure.
And
You're
clefs.
Right. You're
right. I couldn't possibly see that, any of these use cases, pushing it above E for me, honestly, just because it's like...
Yeah. Oh, because like
it's just
I'm thinking about
so unfortunately placed.
I'm thinking about bosses too, and it's like, what am I using it on besides the one Shadow Sirens fight, right? Like, am I?
Well, it can hit all of the not Grotus, all the Smorg parts, can it?
Yeah, but come on, man. Like,
you
okay,
need +3 damage for that.
Listen, okay, in a Hammerman run, it's great, amazing. In any other run, Thunder Rage, Fiery Jinx, Earth Tremor, done.
Yeah.
Like. What else am I using it for? If you want to be unique and if you want to be like interesting, you could like if you want to be different, you could use Quake Hammer in a run where you could use any of those other things. But I agree with you.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Like
if you're more damage, if it were cheaper, if you had it just slightly earlier.
If you really,
it could easily jump into the D at least.
For really examining Quake Hammer under a lens, it looks really good on paper. It's like, oh, I can use it against all this stuff, but like, are you really using it? Which is one of your, like, big things. No.
Yeah.
You're not.
No, you're not.
You don't need to. Because you have other things available. So, yeah. I hear you. E-tier.
Once we get out of the realm of move badges, then we can actually talk about just raw numbers.
I know, it's...
that makes things a lot more favorable.
It's a lot. There's a lot of moves front-loaded. Oh, Fire Drive. So this is an interesting one, because
this is a very interesting one.
You and I have
actual function.
You and I have a lot of opinions on this.
Yeah, this is one where, like, if you look at it on paper, it falls off pretty fast. Like, once you're in the realm of, like, you're using Fiery Jinx, like, they're kind of interchangeable, but you have, like, all the star powers to compete with.
So here's...
It only hits grounded enemies.
Yeah, like, it's... On paper, it's like, it's alright. It's okay. You can use it. You could do something. But this is one of the only badges where I'm like, man, this badge is so good in the early game pit runs that it's like, it's there. Like, it's the reason you can do these things. You know?
Like, this is a more defining badge for pit runs than anything else. Even Mega Rush P, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, because, like, you could
it's there in Prologue.
Like, the Prologue
it's there for Mario alone.
Yeah, the Prologue pit runs are really what, like, set it apart, I feel like. Even like, no Mega Rush P. Like, Fire Drive is there. And it's not like, obviously, you could, like, get through it if you're I Like Pie and Mouth and super guard literally everything without Fire Drive. But, like, some of his runs, he needed Fire Drive.
This is the one you don't skip.
Yeah.
The one badge in the whole pit, which is very sad.
Yeah, so I think Fire Drive... I mean, listen, I think Fire Drive is one of the top 10 badges in the game because of what it, like, enables you to do.
I agree, and... basically only for that.
It's just like, it's one of the...
If you're looking at it on its own, it's like maybe a D tier.
And it's weird. It's weird because it's one of the only badges where I can actually look at it and say, yes, this badge is top 10 because of what it's letting you do. Like, no other badge lets you do this, in my opinion. Like, it's just crazy. Like, imagine going against a 5 Elite Wizard loadout without Fire Drive. Like, it just does not seem right.
You'd better imagine up a couple of Thunder Rages and a Fire Flower, and at least one of the double dips.
So, yeah. I think this is S tier because of it.
That'll save you once.
Like, it's something about fire drive, man. It's just wild. But you won't use it in game, like, ever, except against Grotus if you want to be cheeky.
Oh yeah, that's another fun thing. Grotus is the one enemy in the game where you can hit fire drive on 2 targets at once.
Yeah.
You can hit him and his staff, and the combined damage to both will basically guarantee he can't attack the next turn.
It's actually insane.
You can just stun lock him into doing nothing, just so long as your partner keeps taking out one of the X's every turn.
Yep.
And it's very funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's a significant FP expenditure, and he's got low enough like HP you can easily just power bounce him to death with sufficient power. But like, it's fun.
Like I said, if you want to be cheeky, yeah. But like during the other games, like you'll use it in a couple of loadouts, especially maybe in the Palace of Shadow. But like other than that, like you're probably pretty powerful at that point with your jump, and you're just gonna do whatever else. Like you can just jump on one and kill it. A partner will kill one. You know, like you're not fighting 5 elite wizards in Chapter 8. So, but it really shines in a base Mario, and it's just like I just think it's so hard to argue against what it has allowed in terms of like crazy pit runs.
Indeed.
So. Okay, charge, yo. This is a fun.
So thanks for coming to our move badges tier list.
Oh wait,
tune in for.
They're all gone. Thanks. Wait. This is it. This is the tier list. All move badges ranked. There it is.
We're gonna have to pick up the pace on this.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I got you.
Things get less concrete from this point on. Anyway.
Yeah. We got charge.
I don't know where to put this, honestly.
I think
like you might know better than me.
I think this is I think charge is better than soft stomp. I think it's a D. And here's why. Like soft stomp. Charge is power rush. It's power rush in a badge. It's 1 FP power rush. Amazing. 1 BP, 1 FP power rush. Crazy. And the best part is you can stack it.
Well, you can't. Not by our rule set.
You can stack charges on top of each other.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's what I meant. You can stack charges on top of each other. So it's like a power rush every turn. All I'm saying is like if you have a strategy that for me, like if I had a strategy that's like, oh, I just need to use 1 FP. And I had a power rush in it, I could just use charge. And it would
That's honestly the more useful.
And it's wild. It's wild. The thing is like you can use charge anywhere. It's like as opposed to soft stomp, which is against only defensive enemies, and it's the same thing. Like it's not bad. And like for me, like I like my elegance, I like my perfect FP and stuff. Like if charge can get me there with that extra power that I needed, not bad. Especially because most of my strategies, like you're not one turn killing, right? So it's like you get hit once and then you're in the health range to deal damage. Like charge is that turn, you're spending that action. Done. Yeah,
but you're giving up a lot of things by doing that. Given
It's
who you're taking the action with.
Right, exactly, because it's with Mario. But I think that's solid D for me.
No, yeah, there's way more flexibility in when you can use it than anything under.
Now I haven't done a spotlight for charge P.
I think it's better,
but
I don't know how much quantifiably better, but I think I'd put it at least a tier above.
Well,
just okay. You're not taking your Mario turn up with it.
Yes.
And some partners come pre-equipped with 6-hit moves.
Exactly. Do I think it's way better? No. Because I still think Mario is the better attacker. But Mario's the better attacker when he's able to do his other things, like power lift or do something. If he gets to use a special move, right? And then he gets rally winked, then he's like crazy. Because he's doing all this stuff for free. But, like, charge P, if you have a strategy focused on dual attacking or a partner-focused strategy, charge P is perfectly serviceable. I don't think it's better than other things, though. Like most other badges. But I think it's solid, because partner health is pretty high, and charge P gives you that power rush without needing that, right?
Yeah. So both of these are like you have to realize as well, like, you get a lot of damage out of this in aggregate, but it's slow damage.
Dude, look at
compared to what you can do with like crazy power strats.
Dude, look at Cloud K9 completely locking on to how my opinions changed. You're not wrong, Cloud. I do think Mario's better. Now, I do think Mario's way better. So yeah, I think this. I could actually see this in B, but what do you think?
I'm on the fence. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the fence, I think.
The thing is, like, am I really going to use it? Most of the time I'm using Mario, so I think C is fine, because in my Mario meta, C is perfect. For me, because I'm not using it as much. But it's solid. It's not like it's bad. It could be used as a core, you know? Like, it could be there. You could charge something. Anyone, by the way, anyone who thinks charge P is good because you can charge partners indefinitely, you're wrong. Please stop.
You're doing 12 damage a turn, whereas you could have done way more than that if you just put all your resources into getting your partner into peril on a certain turn.
Yeah.
And then just blasting an enemy once.
No, Aaron, no. I think a lot of people were just like, man, Yoshi is so fucking good. Ground pound for free in peril. And I was kind of on that train for a long time. Like Stampede and stuff. Like, yo, Sea of Veritas. So, like, but again, it's not a bad badge. Like, Charge P ain't a bad badge. It's pretty good. So, okay, the other double dip.
I don't think there's a difference between these two, honestly.
I think
if it is, it's not enough to justify a tier jump.
I would agree with you. I think double dip P is better, but they're in the same tier. There's no way it's that big of a difference. I think the double dips are really good. Like, double dip allows some really dumb strategies with FP, HP manipulation, especially with point swap.
Yeah, these are a badge that's like, it's hard to justify with my particular like criteria, just because it's like, when am I using these? Only boss battles or very specific scenarios in PHP. But they really let you do just about anything in a pre-planned strat.
Exactly, like it's insane.
If you bring the items with you, if you know what your game plan is, like these allow for just downright stupid combinations of things.
Exactly. And look at my strategies. I use double dip a lot. Like, a lot. I use those two badges a lot. They're pretty damn good. Do I think they're top 10 though? That's like what I'm.
That's what we'll have to see. Like I could.
Like, what am I thinking?
Definitely see...
I could see them in S, but am I really thinking S? Like maybe A? I don't
say
know.
We put them in S for now, and if we feel the S is bloated and the A is empty, we can move them down.
Okay.
Like,
and I think
they're
in
the in-between space for me.
These are basically the same, by the way. The reason why I think double dip P is a little more than double dip, like if I were to actually do this, I would put this above double dip, is because some strategies you can do something with Mario like Power Lift or Earth Tremor and then double dip onto Mario, and he still gets his stuff without having him be the setup, right? Like he can do, or you get more setup. You Power Lift, double dip, Power Punch, and Hot Sauce or something like something like that.
I mean, you have Power Punch, you have Booze Sheet, you have Point Swap, which combines very nicely with its 4 BP.
Right. And
plus.
The triple dip can make you you can do some insano damage. Well, GameFAQs community was wrong 10 plus years ago. They hadn't seen my strats yet. But seriously, like even just the classic double dip Power Punch point swap onto like Yoshi for Stampede or Goombella for multi-bonk, like it's easy. And you could do the same thing with Mario. Like just double dip it onto Mario, you know? Like it's crazy. So I think they're great. I don't know if I would put them in S still.
Yeah.
But like am I like I don't know.
We'll see. I think we'll see.
I think we'll see. Right now, they'll stay there, but I would not hesitate to put them back in A. Okay.
Yeah, me either.
I think
I
you
probably
have a
do
lot.
4.
I think you have
So
a lot
I have
to
a
say.
lot to say about the plus badges in particular, HP and
Yeah.
FP plus.
Well, let's do
Screw
HP
HP
first.
Just put HP plus and P and F
Oh,
now.
yeah,
We
yeah.
don't have to talk about that one.
Yeah, that one's bad.
Yeah. So it is my opinion, if you are doing anything other than upgrading BP for the entirety of the game, you're doing it wrong. Like, the only time you ever should be upgrading HP and FP in this game is if you're doing a pit run where you have no means of leaving. Like, that is literally the only reason you should not always be at base stats. Because there are so many powerful strategies you can do at 10 HP, obviously, or at 5 FP, nearly as obviously, because again, double dips are prime for just all kinds of ridiculous setup into peril. Like, these allow you the flexibility of using 15 HP on, like, double pane, like, Gloomtail, or whatever else you want. Or just, like, if you're playing slightly more casually, you want to just blitz through enemies and not worry too much about guards, like, I like running 15, 20 HP strats anyway. But I think the flexibility is what really puts these things, like, top of mind for me.
You're
like,
not
FP plus, like,
less so, I think.
a little less so. But again, 5 FP, like, point swap strats are amazing.
Yeah. And
you're giving those up completely if you're, like, leveling it up.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, the flexibility. I agree. I agree. Like, the flexibility of being able to, like, all my strategies, like, if I have more than 10-5, I incorporate the BP cost of the HP pluses and FP pluses to reach it, because it's what you should be doing.
It should be taken as default, yeah, basically.
Yeah. I don't think they're S tier. I think that's
like this is where it's just kind of hard to quantify how much of a use that is. I feel like
I actually use them a bit.
I feel like you use them more than a bit. I've seen you use
that's what I'm saying.
Plus in most of your.
Listen, man. Yeah, but that's because I'm using some really wacky point swap at 8 HP, or 8 FP. I'm doing some really dumbass stuff to achieve this, like, elegant strategy. So, like, for me, I get it, man. Like, I think it's A. I think they're both A, in my opinion.
Am I really just gonna revert back to my old?
Did you put them in S tier last time?
I put them both in A in my very first tier list, and, like, I could see it. Like, it is fairly uncommon you're gonna want more than 10 HP in a serious challenge strat. But, like, I don't know. Having 15 or 20 opens you up to all kinds of crazy, like, one-off conditions.
Sure, but that's what I'm saying. I think A is, like, perfectly fine for them. Like,
I guess. If we can find enough stuff to pad the S tier with, I'm more than fine.
Also, I'm thinking, I was thinking it over, and, like, no, I don't know. Never mind. Double dips are still really fucking good. Never mind. I was thinking about things to, like, put them down, but I was like, no, man, whatever. They're godlike.
The thing I have to say against double dip is, if you're not planning out your strategy, they basically sit there doing nothing.
Well, I think you should be planning. Playing by the seat of your pants does not make a badge bad, like, or worse.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree mostly.
Like, if you're able to plan and you're just not, that's on you, not the badge. So, do you want to put them in S? Like,
I'm fine putting them in A.
I use them a lot, so personally, I would put them in A, because I use them a lot.
Yeah.
Not HP plus P, though, because that's bad. Who needs that?
Yeah, I don't know if we want to elaborate on that at all.
Sure, let's elaborate on it, man. Partners
You're not using 7 partners in a single fight. You're not draining all of their HP in a single fight.
Exactly. Ever. Like,
even 2 of them, you're overusing quick change at that point.
Yeah, your partners are...
If you're using the HP on more than 1 partner at a time, you're doing it wrong.
Your partners have boatloads of HP. You just don't need it. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, just take that... What are you gonna do? Try to get all 7 partners in peril at one point, and you need that extra 5 FP to, like, do something with it? I don't know. What are you using it for? You're not. It's F tier. Bad.
It's 6 BP!
Yeah, and it's 6 BP. That's just trash. Oh, here we go,
Speaking of 6
dude.
BP.
Yeah, power plus. Yeah. I think these two are the same for me, personally. I'm gonna put them both up here, and here's why. All the damage increasing badges for me are: do I need to hit a specific number with a partner or Mario to achieve perfect damage? Right? Like, that's it. That's what these are for. For me,
Yeah.
these
are very blunt instruments. These
are my last choice because of their high BP cost. But
yeah.
do I use them? Yes, because sometimes they're the only thing available. Like, depending on how early I'm doing it, right? Like,
yeah.
Or sometimes I need just that one. I need two, right? You can get a lot of power pluses. It's nice. And like, if you're going for really low BP stuff, yeah, it's not great. But like, I don't know, man. Most challenge runs, it's not like you gotta be crazy low BP, right?
I mean, my criteria would say yes. Like, I would try to find better alternatives.
Right,
like,
right.
I would exhaust, make sure there aren't ways I can tweak the strategy that would either take an extra turn and then not need them, or just make more smart use of the resources I have. But I can't deny, I do, like, you do have to fall back on them, and they're options you have from very early in the game.
Yep. Whereas
other options might be more restrictive or way too late in the game, no matter.
Yeah.
Like, they're easily at least B. I don't, like, they're certainly not more than A.
No, they're not S tier.
Absolutely no more than A, but like,
I
don't know.
I use them.
Like, I don't think I use them as much as the plus badges.
I'd have to look. I use. I'd really have to look. I use these the least, so I think I'd put them in B.
Like,
but like,
Power Plus P, I would give the slight edge to. I don't know if it's a tier worth, just because you have a lot fewer options earlier in the game for partner power.
I guess like, I would put Power Plus P in A probably, and Power Plus in, because again, it's definitely like it's definitely a I'm using this to reach a certain value kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
Like, but for partners, that's if you're not like pre-planning for a boss, like, you know, you're just going through the game in a challenge run. Power Plus P is nice because it's every partner. I gotta think about that too. So, I think this is pretty good. I would do this for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think.
Yeah, you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, All or Nothing is a really wild badge because
this is a very unfortunate badge.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Because this would be the clearest, at the very least, very high A tier badge in the, if not obvious S tier badge. If it weren't for the fact that it's in Chapter 8.
The thing is, like, you're absolutely using it once you get it, but like you don't have it for basically the entire game. You know?
Like, this would invalidate Power Plus. Like, this would make that be so clear for me.
Oh, yeah.
If you had this any earlier.
Yeah, like, Power Plus, not Power Plus P, would be so much worse with All or Nothing getting, like, earlier, you know?
Like, as it stands, 4 BP is a lot easier to justify than 6, and the downside is pretty minimal. You're losing slight... You're losing some options and, like, exact damage if you're like dropping action commands or something. Yeah. Like your power bounce might be a little less effective.
So like because of that, I think Power Plus and All or Nothing for me are the same. Because
really?
Well, here's the thing. It's like, yeah, great. I can use it against all the Chapter 8 enemies, but like it's doing the same thing for me. It's padding a number, right? Like that's all it's doing for me once I have it in a strategy. And like if you do the pit before Chapter 8, All or Nothing gets so much worse, in my opinion. Like if you're not using it for the pit, then it's like okay, great, a few enemy loadouts that don't really matter and like 4 bosses. You know, like I'm using it obviously when it's there, when it's available, but like the availability alone puts it, for me, like when I'm crafting a strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair.
It's in that same space for me.
Yeah, like you're dealing with the whole full suite of IFP up. That's cheaper. The defense might not even matter.
Exactly.
We have
like
Jumpman, which we're about to get to.
Yeah,
which
well, that's
there's virtually no reason not to put on first.
Exactly. So it's like
you have all the danger ups.
It's
and
the
you
same
have
for
partners.
me. For
Like,
me,
you have power lift. You have power punch.
exactly. Yeah, for me, it's the same.
Yeah, I can see that.
I would put it in the same spot, for sure.
If it were any earlier in the game,
Oh yeah, it would be.
it'd be up a tier.
Oh,
for
absolutely,
sure.
absolutely. But the availability really cuts into it, and I didn't pay too much mind to the availability. I think when we did the Glitz Pit ranking, and I'm disappointed that I didn't because I should have, because it really makes a difference.
Well,
Like,
the thing is, like, I don't think bad availability necessarily makes something drop on its own. If you get something very late, but you have literally no reason to ever not put it on.
Sure.
Like, I think P up D down P is closer to that. I don't know if
yeah,
it's quite enough
the thing
for
is,
S
like,
tier.
sometimes I'll use both. So it's like if I'm using both, I have no idea. We'll check it after this, Amazy. I don't know. It's just all the other times I'm using Power Plus, man. If I need the extra damage, it's like, and I'll use them both at the same strat if I really need to tack on some power, you know.
That's a lot of BP at that point.
I know, but it's like, sometimes I do
off
that.
a turn.
Sometimes I do that, you know, like.
But no, yeah.
Now,
Jumpman,
Jumpman.
anyway.
Now, this is for me. This is an easy S tier for me.
For sure.
Because, like, it's 2 BP for what I'm already using these for. Number padding. Like, and no boss is stopping me from using this. Once you get Ice Power and Spike Shield, which doesn't really matter that much, by the way, because
It doesn't
most
matter on
enemies...
bosses anyway.
Yeah, but, like, even then, it doesn't matter because, like, as we've said, there aren't many fiery and spiky enemies in the game, period. Jumpman is fine. You can just put it on. If you fight a battle you can't win, you got partners. You got special moves. If you're Mario alone, you run away. Whatever. You know, like, that's it. That's all I have to say about this badge. It's godlike. Anything to add, JD Acer?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Hammerman, on the other hand. Listen.
This is rough because like you're padding damage, but on what? Like even though this is only a post chapter 1 badge, are there legitimate use cases for like hammer strats in common use?
I mean, you're not really gonna be like a challenge runner is gonna use jump, right? Like they're gonna pick Jumpman first over Hammerman. If you're doing a Hammerman run, obviously it's great, but like one thing, whatever, you know, like one run doesn't really save it for me.
Not that we're comparing this about Jumpman. I'm like, we're comparing this against F tier, I think.
Yes.
like it's one damage for 2 BP. If there's any reasonable reason to be using hammer moves and caring at all about your damage output, like then that would justify it being an E for sure. But are there? Like, you have Fire Drive, even as early as Chapter 1.
I guess
is
Fire
there a
Drive...
reason to use that? I think there is.
Yeah,
I think so.
I could agree with you. If you're going through the game and you're using Fire Drive, like, that's not too bad.
Like, I think that saves it from F.
Amazing.
I don't know if I can jetify... I don't know if I can...
No, I think it's E. I think you're right.
Mario.
I think you're right. It's great for E, and that's about it. Like, you can use it sometimes. It'll be there, but you're not really getting much out after that.
Like, it's cheap if you already have a reason to be using hammer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is a interesting one for me. Yep, down is the Mario version, right?
Yeah.
This is an interesting one, because this one has uses, for sure.
You have it for a fair bit.
Yeah, it's after chapter...
It's in 6, right?
It's in 6, yeah. It's not bad.
It's cheap power.
It's cheap power. You can work, if you're planning ahead, you can work around the extra damage. It's not bad. But I use it the least, I think.
Really?
I think I might use it less than Power Plus, actually. Because most of the time, like...
I mean, are we factoring, like, availability into that? Like, if you have them all at the same time,
yes.
Are you using it less even?
Yes. Like, if I'm thinking of, like, all my Gloomtail and Magnet strategies, like, where I'm really not using it too much, you know? Like, Gloomtail is one that comes to mind where I would use it, maybe, if I wanted that turn 2 kill. But, like, also, I don't, like, sometimes I just don't use it anyway. I would rather take Power Plus, because then I can not guard, or, like, I can guard and get a certain damage value for, like, Magnus. Like, for me, I'm definitely using it the least. But I don't know if that's, for me personally, I don't know if that's enough to bump it out of B anyway. like with the rest of them and put it in C. But that's what I'm.
Oh no,
figuring
for
out.
sure. No, I would push hard against that.
You
Like,
think it should be in B?
definitely no lower than B. For
Okay,
sure.
yeah. I mean, that's
Like,
what
I'm
I
go-
was thinking. So I mean, I think
Like
they're
I would,
probably
like I don't
the
know.
same.
I haven't done enough late game stratting. You
I
have.
I think
like,
this is the worst of all of them, but it's not like it's bad. You know, like you can use it just fine. You just have to plan. You have to spend a little more time working around the defense drop, which for Mario is a little worse in my opinion than a partner.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
So
You do have last stand to mitigate, but
right. So
a lot of those later bosses really are set up for certain certain routes to peril that might not work so well with the extra damage.
yes,
Even with
yes,
with
that's
last stand to mitigate.
that's what
I
I'm.
mean, you have two
that's-
last stands, but
yeah.
like
No, not even be better at super guarding. No. I try not to super guard in my strategies if I can help it. Sometimes I like to throw one in there, but most of them do not super guard at all. Because it's unnecessary.
yeah,
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Now, this is an interesting one because No, never mind. I use this all the time. Power plus P is
Yeah.
dope. It's amazing. I think it's S tier. Like, partners
Yeah.
have so much health. If you're getting a partner to peril,
The partner defense drop is literally free. Like
Yes.
it does not matter at all.
And it's
Basically,
because-
like at this stage in the game, if you're using badges, you have them upgraded. Like there
Mhm.
aren't challenges where you don't have them upgraded,
Yes.
but are still using badges. Basically.
sure, right.
So if
It's-
they've got like 25 HP, who cares if they're taking one extra damage
Right.
before you manip them into danger or
And, like-
peril, or don't need it at all? Like,
And if you're going to get them in peril anyway, you're going to be point swapping them.
yeah. So this is almost a Jumpman scenario where you're losing basically nothing.
Oh, actually,
for
I don't
one
know.
extra.
Well, actually, okay, wait. I don't know if I'd put it in S because you also get it in Chapter 8. I think I would put it.
Well, still, again, I don't think that's worth knocking it. If you're always going to have it on, it doesn't matter when you get it.
But I
in
don't.
my
But the
opinion.
thing is, like, I'm not always going to have it on.
and that's
I
the,
guess-
that's the thing. Are you like? Is it going to have Jumpman level of like flexibility in the amount of time you have it? I say probably. Honestly. I don't know. Like it's lesser than the danger badges, like the rushes and last stand, but
See, that's the thing. Like,
I
Jumpman
think
is
Jumpman
available.
is too.
But
I think
Jumpman is
Jumpman is
also
too.
available. Like, I don't know. I feel like the availability might, like, have to. I think for me, I think has a little more weight. Because, like, when I'm making these strategies, I have to remember if I can use a badge or not, right? Like, I'm never using this badge. Well, that's not true. I fight Gloomtail a lot, so I do actually use this badge quite a bit.
Again, I don't think I think you need to use the denominator of like when is it available, like
Well,
not like what is the game, because then
I don't
like,
know. I think when it's available that late, like sometimes it's like how Fire Drive is only good because we're
Just
thinking
get
about
it as
just
a
the
drop
pit.
in Chapter 7. Everyone actually gets it then anyway. It's not hard to find in Chapter 7.
Hold on. Let me look at my spotlights really quick. Hold up. Where are my videos? Where are my live
Then
spotlights?
you have it for Magnus 2, and I guess that's the only other fight you have it for, but like pre-Chapter 8 pit. I don't know.
Like, okay, I guess you're right. Like, if I have to, I'm probably using PFD down P. It is my first choice.
Oh yeah, because like again, the defense does not matter. It's 4 free BP over Power Plus P if you need that extra 1.
Yeah, okay. I think that's probably enough.
I think it's I definitely think so.
I still think All or Nothing is heavily affected by.
No, I could agree. 4 BP is not a small
but
amount.
Power
Like,
Plus P
it's
is
better,
like
it's better than Power Plus, like
yeah.
at that point, obviously. But
But PFD down P, when I'm like, oh, I need to add an extra point of damage to a partner, it's that badge every time if it's available.
yeah,
Like usually I'm using Jumpman first if I need to, right?
yeah. And now we got these.
Okay, well I am not a fan of either of these. I think we can safely put this in F.
Ooh.
I think
Like-
for the same reason that the defense drop means nothing, the power drop is everything.
I don't think the power drop is anything. It's like are you doing a strat where partners literally don't attack? Like, I guess this would only really come into play really early in the game, because you do get this super early. This is like pre-Shadow Sirens?
For me,
I think?
yeah, for me, most of the time, if I'm not attacking with both, I'm like powering up one or the other, or like I'm usually powering up Mario. So for me, this badge is way worse in my Mario-centric strategizing. Like this badge is much worse. But I mean, it's not like I don't need to keep it in F. That's where I think it goes. So where would you put it? I just can't see it anything below.
I wouldn't put it above E, I don't think.
Okay, I mean this is a happy medium for me then, because I just don't think it's very good. I would put P up, P down, D up in the same vein. I've used it once, but like once in a strategy, I'm pretty sure, or like twice. Like I'm never really using it if I need to. So this is where I would probably put P. Like,
yeah,
I guess like think it's. This thing is really bad in like a pit run. Like you're putting these on, all
obviously.
your partners are suffering, right? And it's like, damn, does the defense really matter? But like in a boss strategy, if you really need like that piercing for some reason, it's not the worst. So I could see that. Anything else to add? Or
I don't think so.
Okay, I think they're pretty good.
The defense badges are hard, man. This is just not a game built around defensive strategy.
It's tough.
It is like there's so much.
Okay.
There's so much benefit to just getting your offense like in gear as fast as you can.
Yeah, damage dodge.
This one's rough.
I think this badge is not like the greatest. It's like, I don't know, man. I've used damage dodge I think like once or twice too. It's probably
like a lot of late game stuff pierces. Like some don't. You've got Magnus, you've got Smorg. But this is like Last Stand shares a lot of space with this.
I agree.
And they don't combine well. It's not like 64 where they just augment themselves to crazy amounts.
Yeah, they fell off hard from their
predecessor. They basically like the Last Stand really makes this redundant, or vice versa.
I think this is probably E, to be
honest. This only matters if you're not super guarding or taking the hit at all.
Right. It's not like every hit you need to like. Well, a lot of times I'll just take the hit anyway. I think this is E though. E or D at max.
Like it's cheap. Like I think you could do strats with enough strats to put this above the E's. Like
okay. Like I could see it. I've used it before, so it's not like I haven't used it at all.
I mean, like there are damageless strats. Like
you're right.
Like
okay, fair. I think
I've never done a full damageless run, but like
all I know is
when
that
you get to the end, it falls off once you get to the end game, and pretty much everything.
But it's not. You're right. No. You're.
But prior to that, like you can nullify a lot of stuff with that and the power lift.
Would you put damage dodge P in the same place?
Maybe.
I think it's a.
Because I think they're the same class of strategy. Like
okay.
Like I don't.
Yeah, they're probably like the same. Just thinking like, some like
if you were gonna do you have for piercing attacks, but there are very few of those early on that you have to worry.
Like
about.
if you were gonna do no damage, you probably have Coops out who makes better use of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. But the defend, I think these are both like kind of like the same. For me.
Yeah.
Like these defense badges.
Like I think the damage dodges are my first choice. Honestly, if I care about defense at all, I probably like don't care to spend the extra. I don't know.
I think my first choice is defend plus because it's only 2 extra BP, and I'm usually trying to super guard.
It's
anyway.
3, but
Oh, 3. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right. It's 2 in this game. Jesus.
I think defend plus P is far worse than
I would agree.
Damage dodges.
I would agree. I think defend plus P probably.
I just don't use a ton. So.
I think this is an E. I think defend plus P is E tier, honestly.
Yeah.
But I would put defend plus with the same category as damage dodges.
Yeah,
I would not put it above. I would not put defend plus above.
No, yeah, I definitely wouldn't put it above.
No, I think D tier is as far as it's going because I'm not making a strat with like this kind of defense in mind. Like if I need extra defense, I usually just guard. Like
We need to just have more people do damageless runs and see how often these do actually come up. Like when you've got like shell shields and.
Cause it's like to me it just feels like shell shield really like takes center stage.
You've got shell shield. You have shrink on the things that it works on. You have power lift. I mean these can combine and clear that last damage if you need it. This is where I kind of think the partner ones are not that much worse because you don't have shell shield for them, but like
okay,
I think this is fine as it is.
I think this is fine. Double pain though,
you got like the one boss where it really neatly leads to peril.
You have a few. Any boss that deals 8, 7.
Yeah, if only Magnus did slightly more. I guess you do have P up for that.
Hey, you have P up, man. What do you mean?
There you go. Yeah.
I don't think this. You could. I mean, obviously, some people can be like, it just makes the game harder. It's F tier, but I've used it and it's dope. If anything, it's the bottom of E tier for me.
I don't even know if it's the bottom.
Well, okay, you're right. Maybe you're right. Either way,
it's equally as like optional not optional. What's the word? Alternative.
Sure.
It's an equally alternative strategy to like soft stomp at the worst.
Okay, I know. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, and it is kind of dope when you pull it off and you're like, I'm godlike. I don't know.
I'm using the 0 BP move for actual 0 BP badge to do a thing that it wasn't intended to do.
Yeah, I think that's just amazing. I don't know. I think E. It's definitely not harder than E. Higher, but it's solid.
Yeah. You can't get much more utility per BP.
I'll use it. Okay, we're going into lightning mode now. You ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Slap those two right up there.
Here we go.
Even if you don't get them as early as Mega Rush, like.
Okay, I don't know about these, but these.
All the dangers, all the perils.
Done. Okay, these 4.
I underrated Mega Rush for some freaking reason when we did the original run. Like,
well, here's why.
It didn't take but like a few puzzle challenges to be like, it's really not hard to get Mario in peril and then just take just as much advantage of it.
Exactly, and this is why I think Mario is better because Rally Wink lets Mario do insane things in peril as opposed to partners not having that same like luxury. Like Rally Wink is what makes Mario so good, and it makes Mega Rush easy clap S. I think Mega Rush is probably one of the best badges in the game because of it.
Yeah, I would still argue for Rush P being better, just because you have...
It doesn't matter.
I mean,
maybe, sure.
It really doesn't matter. It's the thing.
I use them both, so it doesn't really matter. Like, but yeah, and if anyone thinks Mega Rush isn't S, that just means that you aren't good at strategizing with Mario, in my opinion. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but you're just not as good. You should probably strategize with Mario a little more, and you will probably understand why Mega Rush is up there with every other badge that increases damage in danger or peril.
Yeah, I think Last Stand is in the running for S tier as well, just because it leads so nicely to turn 3 peril without needing any items at all on so many late game bosses.
I think Last Stand P is much worse, actually, than...
Like, Last Stand P really wants there to be just longer form battles to use it in.
Yeah, I think...
you get both of them early, and that's very nice for, like, backup strats in PHPs, especially more restrictive ones.
Mm-hmm.
But that's mostly the extent of what you do with it.
Yeah, I would put it in B or C, though. Like, it's definitely not below C, for sure.
No, I think B is fair.
Yeah, I think B is... I was thinking, like, B is good. But yeah, these 4 are... Like, this is it. This is how I've had my day. Look at how I strategize, and you're seeing these 4 badges everywhere. Like, every strat. And that's what it is. And, like, you'll see it. Like, watch any of my recent spotlights. I'm destroying things with Mario with Mega Rush. It's so easy to get him into peril. Like, there is no...
Last Stand P really makes you wish that you had upgrade trees for the partners, because it could be just as good if they still had 10 HP at the end.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
That could make partners in general a lot better. Actually.
I would think partners would be better than Mario if you could do that, probably. But for now, I just think, like, especially against bosses. Listen. It's like when you're playing through the game, Mario for me is just better, right? Like, he can do everything, and it's so easy to get him into peril. When you're doing pre-Hooktail Pit, the one without no Mega Rush P, it's the partners, but that's because they have Mega Rush P, right? Every other thing, it's like, oh, Mario has Fire Drive. Mario's doing the power smashing. Mario's doing, like, it's Mario who's doing everything. The partners are just supporting at that point. They're surviving for him, but like, Mario's the one doing everything, except for pre-Hooktail Pit speedruns, which, fair. Like, that's fine. You know, Mega Rush P is not bad at all. It's fucking godlike. It's just, when you really get down to it, you don't need to do much to get Mario into peril, and he slaps with Rallywink. That's it. Anyway, like I said, if you don't think these 4 collectively are in S tier, you need to go back to the drawing board, in my opinion. Like, just straight up.
Multiple power points for 1 BP is kind of hard to argue with.
Exactly. Alright, close calls are wild. For me.
I used to love these.
I still love them, but like...
I used to love Close Call Mario a lot. Like, I would have put it top 5 in the game.
Dang.
I still love RNG, like, scumming. You
Sure.
can do stupid stuff with RNG in this game.
Absolutely.
Like, just watch my Magnus 2 community challenge.
Oh yeah, that thing's
You can
wild.
legitimately take 2 close calls, just the 2 you get normally. You can add a Dizzy and a Dodgy on top of that, and you have 88% evasion. It's absurd.
It is absurd.
You can just say no to the entire audience cannon. But that's about the extent of it. It's novelty. It's cheap. It's cheap novelty. Like, that's 50% evasion for 2 BP. If something goes horribly wrong, you could do worse.
I would put them... I don't think they're above C, to be honest. I think Close Call P is worse than Close Call 2.
Part of me really wants to move Close Call Original into B. Like, at the very least. Just because it's a nice safety net, but it's kind of hard to justify.
It is. Now, I think C is fine for Close Call, probably.
Yeah.
But not Close Call P, man. I think Close Call P is E, personally.
At the best.
Yeah.
Especially since you get the second one so late.
Actually, I would even put it... I could see it... I think E is fine, but I would not be like, whoa, if someone put it in their personal F tier. Like,
no, I agree.
I would not bat an eye at that.
And boy, if we're talking about badges that I used to think were good...
Where are these going?
Well, I know we're pretty lucky P is going. There is one of that badge. I don't know why. There is only one of that badge.
Yep.
And it's 10% evasion is not worth relying on
I think
by
this
itself.
is. I think this is an E, dude.
Like, this is padding for, like, this is an option you could choose to pad a pre-Hooktail Pit.
Or like just like a
especially. Like, that alone makes me kind of want to bump it up into D, because like the 2 you have.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I probably would for that for sure. Actually,
like this is not something that a veteran challenge runner is going to choose out of their like limited star piece pool, but like there's a legitimate use case for that. I think.
Like, I'm using the pretty lucky that you get though, like for sure. Like you get in the sewers. Like, I'll absolutely use that.
Yeah, you get the one for free. You could get a second if you have a few star pieces left over, depending on what you go with.
In a non-speedrun pre-Hooktail, like if it's no regular
obviously.
Where, the turns are
if you're doing a tool-assisted speedrun, that's the only badge that matters.
But yeah, like
you just never get hit.
In anything where Mega Rush P isn't being used, you're definitely like pretty lucky is not hurting. Not taking damage is good. You know?
You're extending the heck out of those Parabuzzy fights, but
dude.
Which may or may not be a good thing.
you unequip it for that. Okay, Lucky Day though. Would I call Lucky Day the best Lucky badge? I don't think so.
I'd put it in C.
I think it's in the same. I think it's in the same vein as Close Call.
It's nice when you get it in pre-Hooktail Pit because you have a you don't.
Yeah, it's a great safety net. Actually,
it's like 25%. Not bad.
It's a great safety. Yeah, in general.
Worse per point than at either of the others, but like per point doesn't matter if you have this one badge and you don't have 3 pretty luckies or...
Right. It's like, you probably have the BP at that point anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
C or D for this is probably fine, but like...
Yeah, I could go either way.
I just think it's... I don't know. I think it's on the same level as Close Call. I think Close Call is a tier above Pretty Lucky. Yeah, what up, 8?
Bear in mind, this is only because it appears on floor 90 of the bit. If this were not there, it'd be worse by far than either of those.
It'd probably be E tier then, at that point.
It might even be F.
Yeah, it might even be F. Yeah. But here's a nice F tier.
Oh, gosh.
Lucky Start is not
What
good.
a badge.
Yeah. So, Lucky Start...
It's unique. I'll give it that.
Yeah, but it just... It's 2 turns of something, and that's it. And, like... It's RNG.
It breaks your peril.
And you
breaks
have...
It breaks your hit chances.
You have, like, no reason to use it.
It breaks your return postage.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Alright.
It gives you free FP a little bit. Maybe.
But like, it's just not worth. It's just, doesn't it really matter?
No.
Doesn't it really matter? No.
It's bad.
It's not useful in any of the pit runs because you get it after Atomic Boom. So chapter 4,
anyhow,
for those who don't know. I think, okay, these 3 are like, I don't know.
Happy Flower is like harmless filler.
Harmless.
Which puts it above.
Yes.
It puts it above the others, I think.
I think Happy Heart is... It's really good in like those prologue runs, man.
Yeah, I think you could make a case for both.
I think both. I think all of them are here because prologue, like, well, I don't know, man. I'm never using this any other time.
Yeah, but is that enough to keep it out of F?
Okay, you're right. It has 1 use, I guess, there. And if we're kind of putting Power Smash and these, you know, these 2 in the same area because of like their
I
potential,
think
then I think these,
like niche.
Yes, yeah. Like I'm using Power Smash more, but like I've definitely been saved by these happy hearts.
For sure.
Am I 10 HP
Yeah, I
prologue?
remember that run.
My 10 HP prologue, man, these were lifesavers. And like you're gonna
Happy Flower is the pinnacle of like, well, I have 2 BP and literally nothing that's going to for sure help me, so I might as well get the tiny trickle of FP.
I'm gonna be honest, I'll never use these in a boss fight because you just don't need to. But like, the pit runs, they're definitely like useful without, like, especially as you get more and more restricted.
Yeah.
Agent, it's challenge run oriented, so it's all like challenges, combat focused. Basically, we're ranking on like its utility, like what it does for strategies and like just like general fighting. How efficient is it? Stuff like that. I can't really describe otherwise. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. If anyone here comes in later and they're like, "Hey, what are you guys ranking on?" How we're ranking it will be in the video.
Yeah, it's at the start.
You'll be able to tell. It's tough to like remember exactly, but we definitely both went over our criteria. Okay, I think these are wild badges. I think they're pretty divisive. I think these are pretty divisive from.
Yeah, like I feel like as a community,
talking,
we
talking
slightly
about
overrated the heck out of these.
We were talking about this when when you were in town.
I say this as a diehard fan of like 10 FP, like Flower Saver playing casually. Like, how often do you use these in your strats? Like, I'm sure you use them.
Yeah.
But
not as much as I would use like this stuff. I think like
or even straight stat upgrades.
So here's the thing.
Honestly.
Here's the thing. Like here's the thing. They're like really. I don't think they're below A or B. Probably. I feel like I can't put them in B. But I just can't see them in the S that everyone just slapped them
I don't think
into.
I can either. Like, especially P. Like,
yeah, I think
taking Mario's moves from 2 FP to 1, nice. I don't think it's as nice as anything currently in S.
Yeah, I don't know. I might put Flower Saver P in. I think Flower Saver can't be lower than A, but Flower Saver P I could put in B. But it's still good. Like, it's not bad. So it's like, I don't know. What do you think?
You're basically cheapening a double dip P more so than anything else, honestly.
Yeah,
like shell
you know,
shield, other niche
okay, you know what?
things.
No. I use Flower Saver P
Power
you know
Shell?
what? I use Flower Saver P for Rallywink a lot. So actually,
Well, that's fair. Okay,
this,
no, yeah,
this
yeah,
is,
for sure.
Like I use it.
The wicked multi-bonk. Yeah,
I use that.
yeah.
Yeah,
A is fine.
Yep. I use
think
it quite
that's
a bit actually. All right, here we go. Another easy F tier Pity Flower.
Just why does this badge?
You know what? We're just gonna. You know what? We're just gonna.
This is a badge that would be actually substantially better if you had 2 of them, just because like 2 HP is something you can do something with.
Right.
But 1 does nothing. You can't reduce like late game bosses to 1 HP for looping. Looping is one of its many great things that you can do with HP drain.
I'm pretty sure I actually did a spotlight with HP drain, and it sucks still.
No, yeah, it's not even like soft stomp levels of, oh, this is actually kind of a cool replacement. It's like, no, you have to stretch to work it in there.
You know what? I think HP Drain P might be the worst badge of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's at all controversial. I think that's
It could be it's easily one of the worst.
I think that was the consensus back in the day, too.
Yeah, I mean, Pity Flower and HP Drain just, like... Pity Flower at least has something cool going for it, but it's just, like, man...
Yeah, if Pity Flower worked every time you got hit, it's still not great.
But you could definitely use it for something. Like,
that's
I could
a
use
thing
that.
You can use.
I could definitely strategize around a Pity Flower that works 100% of the time. Like, easily, you know?
Just use it on Magnus. Get a free FP refill.
I mean, you could still get extra FP 8 for that. Oh, it's because of Prologue pit runs, Cloud.
Yeah, I agree with the HP or the Happy P placement. Anyhow.
Okay, Flower Drain though. Now, this badge is dope. To be straight up, you opened a lot of people's eyes to this badge. But
honestly, it's like a cheaper Flower Saver, nearly.
But
it's
I
not
don't
quite as good,
yeah.
and the attack can be kind of hard to justify losing early on.
Right.
But you can work around this.
Yeah, I think it's a solid B, in my opinion. Like, you can do some cool stuff with it, but, like, the drawbacks can be a pain to work around. And this badge is really good, like, in normal battles when you're, like, fronting Pero Mario with multi-bounce and you're just flying through everything. It's free multi-bounce with 1 Flower Saver. I think that's pretty dope, in my opinion.
Yep. Nothing else to add.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, if you haven't
it's definitely not as bad as GameFAQs rated it.
If you haven't tried FP Drain out in a strategy, I highly recommend it. It's pretty fun to work with.
Play through the game with like 10 FP, like for real. Like
these.
That should be your gateway into challenge running.
These are
Just
all
try to use FP less.
These are all interesting badges. By the way, I think we're almost done. Keep in mind, we have a lot of useless badges.
Yeah. The whole bottom row is basically nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Heartfinder is...
I love this badge.
I think this... I mean, this badge is great for non-speedrun pre-hooked tail pit. When, like, you need that quick... Like, your partner dies, and you need that quick HP healing to get him back to peril. This is it.
It's guaranteed.
It's
and,
guaranteed.
like, if you switch to your non-barrel partner, that's just 1 to 3 free HP per fight, which is better than most defense badges can manage.
Yeah.
If you're not taking a lot of hits.
I think this is like tippity top. Like, this is some of the best filler you could put on.
Yeah, it's great.
And I think, I mean, I don't know where I think B is pretty.
I was on the line of A before. I don't like. It's kind of borderliney.
I think B is a great place to put it because against anything that's not normal battles, it's useless.
Well, yes.
I know, but I'm just saying. Like, I'm just saying.
By
like
definition, yes.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Right? Like,
I don't count that against it.
I do a little.
The fact that you can't use it on things that don't drop things.
Okay. I still don't think it's good enough to be A.
It's mostly filler. You have the save your partner use case, which it does as well as item hog, I would say.
Yeah.
For
actually, I think all of these are pretty much A. or B. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're fairly interchangeable. Like, again, like, Flower Finder is like top tier, this will never bite you filler.
I mean,
Really nice for speedrunning pre-hook Bale Pit.
Flower Finder might be a... I don't know.
It's harder to quantify what you
I
what you
think
get
these
out
are...
of it.
I think B is a really solid place for all three of these. Because
Yeah.
they're all doing... Like, these are guaranteed at least one of each drop. This is a random chance, but like it can net you some... Like, like the fact that you can get a power punch
if you're playing
alone...
if you're playing the US version of the game, this is very nice at getting you a constant stream of garbage.
Yeah.
Like you'll get a lot of it. it will slightly, very slightly buff your odds of getting like power punches and useful stuff. Like it might. I ran the numbers on this and I don't remember what the numbers were. You'll get maybe half an extra power punch per pit run, which is like not great. But like that's just power punch. You
Yeah,
could get other useful things as well. Like you'll get 1 or 2 really nice drops you wouldn't have gotten otherwise, and you'll get a bunch of dried shrooms and volt shrooms and other things you may or may not have use for.
Yeah.
The dried shrooms could be useful, but that's taking up inventory space.
Okay. Ice power?
See, this is where we get to the weird stuff, where it's like these were specifically designed to do exactly one thing, and they have no flexibility beyond that. How do you rank that?
It does its one thing.
It does its one thing for as cheap as it possibly could.
I don't think it's very good. It helps you against Phantom members. Great. That's it.
And I mean, like, Bowser Fire Breath.
Okay, you're right.
But
You're right.
Flame Jets, enemy Fire Flowers.
Stop it. I think it's D.
Yeah, it's definitely no better than D, I would say. I don't know why we overrated it so much.
Wait,
back in the
when
day.
did we put it at? Well, we'll see.
We'll see in a bit.
I would even...
Too high.
I mean, I would even put this in E, to be honest, but...
I mean...
By the time you're actually using it against Phantom members, you have so many other things that just, like, destroy them anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's more useful for the Bowser Breath, but that's one attack.
Okay, I'm putting it in E. Yep, we're doing it.
Yeah. I think we, beforehand, did we put this in E, or did we...
I don't know.
Did we put it in D? I honestly
can't
don't remember.
Now, Spike Shield, I think, is a little better. There's a few more spiky enemies. You can get legitimate use out of it, especially flipping stuff.
I would counter. You're only doing this post Chapter 4, which basically means you're doing a late game pit run. And at that point, you have Art Attack, you have, like...
That's true. That's true. But
like, I think
it
this
does...
is open to... there are more things that it works on, for sure. It does
also...
empower multi-bounce, more so than Ice Power does.
I don't
like...
think it's C. I think it's...
No, for sure it's not C. Absolutely not C.
At best, it's D.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's E or not, is really what I'm trying to, like, think about.
Yeah.
You know? Like...
Hard to gauge.
It lets you
Ice Power gives 1 extra power against fiery enemies.
Spike Shield gives you the... Spike Shield plus Ice Power gives you that nice multi-bonk everything, scaling off your superior jump. And, like, it scales off, you know... I don't know. Like, I'm thinking about it with, like, Quake Hammer.
Like, a lot of the Spike Shield stuff is stuff that's in the pit. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
You have poison pokies. You have.
Yeah.
What else?
The thing is, like, once you get to that point, it's like, man, you could just Earth Tremor. You know,
I know.
Right, you can Art Attack. Like that's it. You know what? I think
it's literally just like in the main story.
It's the same thing.
Literally just poison pokies, isn't it?
I mean, you got your spiky Koopas. I think a couple Koopa Trolls, but like.
Yeah, but you're not fighting those. Those are like in like the sewers.
You're right. Okay. No.
I think they're open to the same charge. Like, well, I don't know. It's tough because they empower multi-bounce to do things that multi-bounce that are kind of completely optional. It's rough. They're all in the same boat.
It's right because you don't need to. Right? It's weird. You don't need to. You know? And, like, even if you've got Jump Band equipped, you can still use a special move or a partner to just take care of some, like... I don't know. They're not that. They're really not as great as people think they are. People think they're great because it's convenient, but convenience is not like.
Like we could put them in D and I wouldn't care. But like
I just don't think they're really that. I don't think they're good enough for that.
Yeah. They are much like those other hammer moves in that like they do their one thing and that one thing.
I think that's where they go.
Yeah. Is this slightly better?
No, I don't think so. Personally.
It's basically for shutting down very specific. It's good. Well, it's for shutting. Well, this you have earlier. This you have in an actual pit run, like early game. You can totally shut down Swoopulas with it.
Okay.
I think that makes it better.
I think that's enough to bump it up to D. But other than that, you don't need this on anything else. So many
Super guard insurance as well. But like...
Yeah, and like so many late game.
Oh, and bandits. For sure, it's better than those.
Yeah, so many late game enemies aren't even affected by Zap Tap.
Yeah, like you're not using this in bosses. The one damage is totally like.
Oh no, Cloud's right. Bowser, you could use it against Bowser Bite.
Oh, that's fair. That's actually fair. Are we moving it up or are we keeping it here?
No, it's just Bowser Bite isn't enough to move it up to C. It's D.
Hey, you can lock him in that attack forever, man.
Stop it. Stop.
Yeah, if we didn't give Ice Power a bump up to E for Grotus not the shenanigans, I'm fine for not bumping it up to C for that.
Alright, this... I mean, come on, man. Easy.
Like, having the BP cost of that wouldn't save it.
I know. Yeah.
Doubling the effect and reducing the BP cost, I know from experience, still doesn't make it that good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, that's how it is in Infinite Pit, and it's still not a thing I reach for, virtually ever.
Yeah, like, it's just bad. It's terrible. It's awful. Fun to use, but terrible. I did a spotlight on it, and those strats were dope, but it sucks.
Oh, we're getting down to the wire here.
I know. Okay.
Actually, we've got...
Yo, the feeling fines, I'm telling you right now, I do not think these are, like, amazing at all. I do not.
Like, I don't remember the full list of what they block. Do they block allergic, even?
I don't know, no. I don't know, but I know they don't block fruits.
Yeah. You get them super late. Like, there's a handful of bosses. And by a handful, I mean, like, there's Beldum. There's Beldum and, like, parts of the Shadow Queen fight that you can neutralize with it. And, like, 3 out of 4 Bonetail breaths.
Yeah.
And X-Yuxes if you go out of your
I just feel like you can just guard, you know? Like, sometimes I use it. Sometimes I use it to, like, not take damage. But I don't think it's very good. Honestly, I think they're both E.
Yeah. Weird. This E is getting way more crowded than I thought it was going to be.
Do we need a second tier? Do we need to differentiate these?
I mean, we could differentiate it into E for alternative strategies and E for they only do one thing. But, like, I don't know. It's kind of a nebulous divide.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's just, like, yeah. Alright, refund. F. Money.
These badges wish that they could be useful for, like... They wish they could be useful for, like, coin economy in the long run, in a pit run or whatever, but they're just not presented.
What are you talking about, Amazy? No. If Zap Tap is D tier, but you just don't play enough pit? No, bro. I've played plenty of pit, and I still think Zap Tap is D tier. I think Zap Tap could be E, even.
I don't think it could be E.
I'm just saying,
disagree with that statement.
If anything, it's D. I don't know what you're using. What, man? Can't guard, bro? Like, not even super guard. You just can't guard? What are you doing? What are you using it against? What is that 1 damage netting you? Nothing! What are you doing? Oh, man, it stops all the Swoopulas. Great, dude. Great.
Anyhow, these are badges I just never know where to place.
The super appeals? I don't know where these are. I think they're not great. Because
that
stylish
is looking very crowded already. But
what?
At the same time...
But that's where they should go! The thing is, like Stylish just do everything for it. Actually, I think these badges do one thing, and that's save you from the dry bones audience.
Specifically, Super Appeal does that. You have 2 of them then. I don't think you have any Super Appeals at that point. Like, or P, rather. I don't know when you would use Super Appeal.
Dude, amazing. If those enemies are murking you, then you suck. That's all. That's it. Prepare better.
Quake Hammer would not be my first choice to move out of that E tier. I don't know what it would be, but it would definitely not be Quake Hammer.
I think Super Appeal P is F tier.
I think that is F. I think Super Appeal. I don't know. Like, when are you doing nothing with Mario? Because, like, if you use it in a pre-pit setting when you have 2 of them, that's like almost a full unit of star power.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's like a full unit if you've got, what is it, 100 audience? That's pretty late that you would have that.
Yeah, but, like, I just think the Dry Bones audience is worth...
Oh, yeah, it's worth something. I was just trying to see, like, could I justify higher? Because, like, you can't quite get a full unit from it.
I feel like it's enough. I mean, like, the thing is, I don't know. The thing, it's really, it has no use outside of Dry Bones for me. Because, like,
you're more likely to use Appeal if you're just wasting your turns. Basically, like, you're waiting for the enemy to do anything. Like, yeah. I can't think of, like, too many cases outside of that where you're, like, really trying to stay afloat and need that SP as soon as possible and are taking Mario's turn to do that. Because, like, even if he does have the more efficiency, because he has those 2 for an extra half unit, like, cool, you filled it in 1, but your partner has to do something. They're already going to get you some of it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Super Appeal specifically doing anything in that situation? Probably not. So, yep. We've just got the most crowded E tier ever.
You guys
right
are
now.
actually wilding on ZapTap. Like, you're literally... We put... ZapTap does, like, has... only a couple extra uses, but, like, it's really, it does the same thing that, like, Ice Power and Spike Shield do. They let you do a couple things more. Like, and it's not like shutting down one enemy automatically makes it, like, incredible. It's, like, one set. Like, you literally have to roll the 5 Swampire set to really feel ZapTap's usefulness. I don't know why you think it's that good. Like, when you're doing it in a normal game, what else are you doing for it? Like, you're just using other things. Like, all I'm saying is, like, there's no way you're bumping it up to something that you'll use way more in more situations. You're equipping it for, like, 1 set of floors, and not even 1 set, like one where you say the Swampires are on the overworld, because that's the only one you can get the 5 in, and it's like, hello? What do you... Okay, I equipped ZapTap for that 1 floor. What the fuck else are you equipping it for, Maisie? Shut up! God. You people in your ZapTap. God. Okay, sorry. I had to rant about it. These people were getting wild about ZapTap. And that's definitely... ZapTap is one of those badges that, like, people are like, man, it's so good. It does all these things. And it's one of those, like, catcher... It's one of those badges that, like, that stick with people. But, no, you gotta move past it.
Speaking of one of those badges that sticks with people and you gotta move past it. Literally useless. Like, actually literally useless. Just not even really... Like, is it even F, or is it just not applicable?
Oh, you know, I don't know. Actually, I think this is not applicable.
Like, let's just minimize the amount of ire that we're gonna draw from, like, a casual eye on this.
It's not applicable to, like, a combat situation.
It's really not applicable. We can go ahead and put Timing Tutor
in
there, too.
In fact, I use Peekaboo in all of my setups because it's easier to see the HP and stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's there for the audience's case. You're not actually using it. And even if you are, how do you quantify that?
Yes. Yeah, okay. We'll put Timing Tutor in there. I guess while we're here, we'll just put them all in, right? These are badges you can't really use in combat.
I think just to sidestep the whole issue, let's put the attack badges in there, too.
These ones? Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree. The rest
we don't need a rant for how bump attack is the stupidest freaking thing in existence for being where it is in the game. Like, literally any other badge would have been better there. Like, actually, like, literally any badge would have been better there.
Yeah. All right. Time for the next divisive, probably one of the most divisive badges in the if I recall correctly, this was the most hotly debated badge in the ranking. Yeah, what up, XY? Right? It was the most hotly debated.
Gray tier is just stuff that isn't combat oriented.
Yeah.
Phoenix
Oh,
has no combat effect.
Yeah,
It says
no
not
combat.
applicable.
So here's okay. So I'm gonna tell you
We
guys.
can leave it there. Okay, yep, just move on.
I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story.
I've gotten even harder on this badge every time.
I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story, okay? I was a quick change S tier Andy back when we did the thing, and I was arguing very, very hard for this badge to be an S tier. I was very disappointed when it was voted into A plus. I was disappointed. I definitely was like, what are they thinking? How did they not see what I see? My eyes have been opened. Quick change is A tier. That's my story. And here's why. I actually just did a quick change spotlight, okay? So I actually have a really fresh perspective on this. Quick change in strategies is unoptimal. You heard it here first. In any boss fight where you probably need quick change, you're wasting BP and turns and actions. Like, you don't need it. You don't need to do it. If you were gonna use a partner to do some damage, you can do it with any partner. You don't need to swap out for somebody to do the same thing. It's very difficult to make quick change optimal. You can, but it's difficult, and it takes certain bosses to do it. Most of the time, you go in with one partner, and you just usually it's Goombella. You rally wink Mario, you kill a boss. I don't know, but you cannot overstate what it does for speedrunning Rehook Tail Pit, and it does have the highest potential in the game if you're going crazy. Anything else to add, Jdaster?
I don't know how you define highest potential. I mean, no badge does what it does.
Yeah,
like for sure.
I guess like potential in terms of like storing peril and like statuses and like stacking, like preserving and all that stuff. Like it has the potential to be the dumbest badge, but like you will never.
You gotta maintain that confusion, man.
Yeah. You will
swap them out. Keep the confusion for later. Nah.
But here's the thing: you'll never hit a situation where you actually have to do that, unless you're Coop and you're fighting an 800 HP Gloomtail, where it is.
Or if you're specifically doing a Mega Rush P allowed. Well, I mean, like have to do is a strong phrase, but like there's a reason everyone runs quick change when they're doing their first pre-Hooktail Pit stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
well, in the speedrun, it's undeniably better because not having to worry about Goombella in the Bone Tail fight is really good. But like, yeah, I know what you're saying. You don't need it. You know?
Yeah, and I'd argue, like, if you actually care about BP, like, this isn't even a thing you want on for filler. Like, you're so rarely going to have a cause to use this, even if you are flying by the seat of your pants.
Yeah. And, like, you don't even need quick change for the first half of the pit, really, in Mega Rush P. Like, I don't. Most speedrunners don't equip it until later. Like, they do, but they don't do it until a little later, because the first few floors you just smash through everything with Coops anyway. So it's convenient, and I think a lot of people think it's amazing because of its convenience. For them, they don't have to do the extra effort. Like, you could easily just run away from a fight, you know, and then swap the partner, but people don't think like that. They're like, they want to be in the battle still, you know? So to them, quick change gets way better. I think that's like just something that's why I think a lot of people think it's like one of the best. You know, not thinking about like what we're thinking about.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But for me, it can't go any lower than A, but it just cannot be S anymore. It's a great badge, but it's
like this top tier of badges. Fire Drive accepted, because Fire Drive is a weird scenario where, like, it basically ceases to exist after PHP. Or after, like early game pits. But, like, these are badges that you're going to use nearly 100% of the time.
Yep.
Or that have far-reaching, like, optimal uses, at the very least.
Yep. Besides Fire Drive.
Domain.
Besides Fire Drive, but that's a special case.
Quick change is not that badge.
Yeah. All right, here we go. The E's. Oh no, I'm sorry. It should be NA.
It has an effect. It's bad.
It's bad.
But it has an effect.
It's bad, friends. It's bad. It did not change quick. I thought quick change was S tier for like 2 years after that tier list. So, simplifier gives you more frames. Like, it's not like that effect is not bad. What's really bad?
I mean, I will say the consistency if you're using shell shield is appreciated, but
Sure.
like this is not a thing that needs to be on to make a strat function. Execution will always like it doesn't actually get you anything other than easing the execution slightly on things.
Yes, and for some people that execution is like important. Like, I'm just gonna say it. Like Jenny, I had her equip both simplifiers.
Sure.
She needed it, but it comes at a great cost. Okay, it saps.
It doesn't come at a great cost. I disagree.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It stops us.
It killed Fat Guy that one time, I suppose, but that's because his super guards cost 0.9 SP.
Listen, it guts your SP regen. I really
it reduces it by an eighth.
I still think that's pretty bad. I don't know. I think it's bad. An eighth over multiple moves, like regenning SP, I think goes a long way. Because it's not like it's once. It's like every attack you're regenning one less, right? So it's like, I think that's worse, in my opinion. Is it terrible? No, but I still think it's F tier. It's definitely not doing anything for you. You know?
Like it is really hard to justify putting it higher, even if you can use it, like and get use out of it. Like it functionally does not change anything about the battle other than sapping your star power a little bit.
Exactly.
which is not even a good thing. There's no side to that.
So now Unsimplifier, on the other hand, is still bad.
It's still bad, but like I might put it above I might even put it above E tier because like
really.
The breakpoints can matter. Like this goes from like you can't possibly fill your star gauge in one move to you can fill it in one move, and that's a fairly substantial difference.
Yeah, I would agree with that actually.
Like and you have this early in the game.
By the way, I do have an Unsimplifier spotlight where I show ludicrous star power regen, and it's wild. So I can see that.
It turns what would be an unstable strategy for maintaining star power over a longer fight into a stable one, and for that it's worth it. It does kind of ruin the executability of some moves to an extent, but like not to the point where they're impossible.
So you would say D tier?
D.
Okay.
I'd say D. I've always been of the mind. Maybe not always. I think my old tier might have them both an E, but
it was
since the glitz bit at least. I've had the mind that it's in the D tier.
So. It's the last badge. We're here. Chill out. I didn't put this in F immediately because I actually think it's pretty great in speedruns. And I think that needs to be mentioned. Like pre-hooktail pit ones, where you can just run into an enemy and power shell it is like way faster than power shelling an enemy first in the earlier floors. In my opinion. This is just my opinion. Now, do I think it's really great? No. It's probably still... It's tough because like there's that one use, but I still think it's F.
I think so too. Like it's like Simplifier, where it's like it's all about reducing the amount of time it takes you to do something, like more so than the actual effect. Like there's no actual combat effect. At worst, like you don't take damage out of battle, basically.
Yeah, it is way faster. Just run into it though, like for sure. But
it does not gain you the ability to do anything in the battle that you couldn't have already done.
I just don't think.
I feel like if anything, that renders it NA. But like,
no, it's F. I mean, that's a tough one for me. I think it's. I think we'll just leave it at F.
You're playing it like it's aiding your overworld game, which is totally separate from your field game.
Maybe it is NA then. Maybe it is NA because like
there's a case to be made.
I think. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put it in A. Thinking about it more, it does not. It's not like an in-combat thing. It's
Simplifier does have an in-combat effect.
You could just run into the enemy and they're not even first striking you, and it's the same thing. So you're right. I think it's not applicable like to combat. if we're gonna put the bump attacks in here, then I think chill out needs to be in the same place. So it's not applicable.
Yeah.
These badges are not bad, by the way. None of these like I think Peekaboo sucks, but that's just me.
L emblem is horrible. Don't ever wear it.
Oh my god. None of these badges are like really bad, right? They're just not. You can't really use them in combat. Like they're mainly cosmetic or overworld.
I mean, technically, attack FXR has a use.
Yeah, but no.
For its one use, it's pretty decent. Makes it literally impossible to lose. All but the most ridiculously restrictive of
we're not so just letting you guys know, we have not ordered any of these within the tier. So Soft Stomp is not the top of E tier. Charge
it
is
should
not.
be. No, it's not.
Charge is not the top of D. Power Jump is not the top of C, etc. It was just the first badge that went in when we were doing this. These are unordered.
So are there any things we'd move now that we're looking at the whole list in context? Power Jump is boring a glare into my eyes, honestly.
I could see it in D.
It looks a little weird alongside those other badges.
I think let's move it to D.
That might be the only one, honestly.
What? But Simplifier is not the worst. They're unordered. Now, all of these are unordered.
Why would we change it? What does Simplifier gain for you? If anything, it is literally the worst badge in the game because,
Dang.
besides the execution, which is kind of unquantifiable, it literally loses you stuff. It gains you nothing. You don't get extra power bounce jumps just by having it on.
I'm sorry, Cloud. Simplifier sucks.
Wait, I say this as someone that has used Simplifier in the past and might still do it to save myself trouble. It's not execution.
There are
it's
11...
not actually allowing me to do anything more with my strategy.
Okay, so there are 11 badges in S tier right now.
If we had to knock out one, would it really be P up B?
I think Fire Drive could be in its own tier. If I'm being honest,
honorary mention.
I mean, if I'm being honest,
I'm
though,
okay with this. I'm okay with this
if
because it is the oddball there.
If I'm being honest, it's like
it's the oddball. You don't use that after the pit.
I'm gonna change this one. What am I changing it to? It's a nice turquoise. Is this one been used already? Fuck. Oh, what color?
Just make it purple. I don't know.
All right.
Honorary mention.
I'm gonna put S, but
for pit runs only.
For pit for pit.
Just PHP or
Just
like
put,
early game pit.
Yeah, for
or just pit.
early
I don't know.
game pit runs. It's just a. I'm gonna put S because of what it allows for challenge running. Because that's the only way to put it. It's the only way to put it.
Yeah.
This is a solid list, actually. This is pretty close to how mine would probably look. I'm a little more mean. I'd put a lot of these in F probably.
I'm probably a little nicer in some respects.
I'm a little
more.
So
it balances out. I think that I really like this list.
Yeah, I think this list is dope actually.
Now we need to compare this with
I know, it's time.
And this isn't even like a reflection on the Glitz pit as a whole. Oh, should we order the top?
Oh, sure. Let's order the top.
Since there's 10 of them, we gotta have a top 10.
Okay.
This is gonna take the rest of the stream.
I think. Oh man, I think Mega
Let's not order them.
No. I think Mega Rush P is probably the best badge.
I think so.
I think Mega Rush is a close second.
I think Power Rush might be, or Power Plus. Power Bounce might be higher. It's just because of without it, Mario's.
I don't know. I think
Mega Rush doesn't mean as much.
I don't know. Oh, you're right. Because multi-bonk is innate.
Where does Jumpman fall?
I would do the Power Rushes. I think these are like just hello.
Yeah.
I think Power Rush is better than Power Rush P.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like I'm using Power Rush more like in my strategies. Power Rush is an afterthought most of the time. I think Jumpman is better. What I'm getting at
I'm
is,
fine
like,
with. I might be fine with this as is.
I was gonna say, I think. You think Last Stand might be better than the Upty Dumpty?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I'm thinking that too. I'm thinking this. I think Last Stand. Actually, would you put Last Stand here?
I might. Again, like my caveat on like the double dips are weird because like again like they're not a fly by your seat of your pants badge, but like I don't know how much you want to quantify that.
I would like to quantify that. I think if you're just playing by the like,
you
if you
quantify it by ignoring it.
if you can plan for it and you're not, again, it's on you, not the badge. Like the badge is good, you're just not utilizing
Just
it.
the double dips allow for so many things. Last
why.
Stand you have for the whole game. I feel like you're using it less until the very end, where it like sets up like turn 2 or 3 peril very nicely.
I think this is. I think this is a.
I think that
solid-
like they're kind of interchangeable.
This might actually be my. I don't know if I would put Last Stand in my personal top 10, but this is pretty close to the top 10.
I think I would.
Yeah, I think I would. I don't know what I would put in my. I don't know what would come. Oh, I think Fire Drive would be in my.
That's fair. You can knock out one of the bottom 2 for Fire Drive.
But this is a. These first 6 are my top 6, and this is the easiest top 5 for sure. Like, I don't think you're getting.
It's not as easy as 64, where like the top 4 are set in stone.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Like the entire like glitz bit agreed on the top 6 as obvious.
Yeah, I mean it was. I mean, because it is obvious.
But these top 6 are a close second. I think people just overrate quick change a bit.
Yeah, yeah. People overrate a lot of badges a bit.
You know, but I like this.
That is kind of wild, XY. I think this is a solid list.
Now let's compare.
Yeah, let's compare. Hold on, I got it right here.
We gotta split screen this somehow. Oh, I should.
That's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna drag the image in. I'm just gonna like.
I'm gonna have to watch this on the stream, I suppose.
Just gonna. You can just look at the list yourself. Aren't you?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I got the picture up.
Surely you can move things. Oh, I mean, you're gonna have to zoom that out so we can see the whole list at once.
I got it. I got it. Oh, it's gonna be really difficult for me to like. You know what? Hold up. Let me save this image.
Yeah, that's true. We could just put them side by side.
You save-
Cloud, I think item hog is B tier because you get a couple extra good drops, maybe, and you get like the steady stream of other stuff. I don't know.
Definitely gonna save.
I could
this.
argue for C on item hog. I guess it's
Definitely
not as
gonna
good as the other 2.
I'm
but,
fine with them being all.
I think they're similar enough in use.
Okay.
I don't know. It's really only for the pit that you would have item hog on though. I don't know. Maybe we should put item hog in C.
Oh, maybe it is. You know what? Sure.
Yeah. Good call, Cloud.
Okay.
It's worse than the Japanese version. I don't know. It's probably still C in that version too. It's the only one that could potentially have a difference.
Okay. Let's. I enlarge this. Oh my god. You know what? This is fine. This is fine because I can.
And then you could just overlay them like that. There we go.
I'm sorry that the tier maker thing is bad. I wish that wasn't there, but I think you guys know what's there. It's the 2 double dips and jump man.
We just need to put 8 extra badges on S so they get covered up. Just put all the emblems up there.
Okay. So the S tier is way different.
Yeah. Where did we put Mega Rush? Good night.
A
What did I do?
man.
I probably started this. I'm sorry.
Power Rush P was an A2.
Yeah, that was also my vote among others. Quick change is fairly close to correct, honestly.
Yeah.
If anything, it's still
Look
too
at
high.
both the Flower Savers were in S.
Yeah, we overrated the heck out of those.
And All or Nothing. All or Nothing I could still see in A, but I'm personally.
Yeah.
Look at the double
can see
dips.
I think people, myself included, were considering the fly by the seat of your pants / not boss battles use of them more back then. Again, this was pre-puzzle challenges.
It's true. It's true. I feel like the puzzle challenges and a bunch of
that
other
changed
stuff.
a lot of my perspective.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. Dude, Sleep Stop was B. Oh, look, all the finders were in B tier last time.
Oh yeah.
But Item Hog was on the low end.
Yeah.
You could see it. Wow, that's pretty clear.
Wow, we really liked P down for whatever reason. What on earth?
Why?
We like damage dodge, but that's more understandable, at least.
Yo, damn, damage dodge was an A? Jesus, dude. Multi-bounce.
We were
multi-bounce.
really trying to shoot down the crowd of, like, it doesn't matter because super guards, and I think we went overboard. I don't even know that I rated it A.
Yeah, I think the super guard crowd probably didn't help.
We had to overcompensate.
Cloud, how could you not let HP plus P be in FF tier? Pretty big regret.
What else is weird here? Not a lot,
Hammerman
honestly.
is D tier.
I think that's fair. It's one of the better E. Is it really? Probably
look
not.
Look at the super appeals.
There's also just fewer things in E in this list.
It's true.
Yeah, the super appeals a bit too high.
Happy Heart.
People
look.
hated FP plus for whatever reason.
Man, Happy Heart P was an F?
It's understandable.
That's the only thing. Everything else seemed, like the... Dude, Happy Flower was in C.
It's so good as filler, man.
Piercing Blow was C. What?
Well, Power Smash is also C. In fact, all of those is C.
Oh, yeah, Jesus.
Spike Shield, Ice Power. Wow, there's a lot of things in C here. There's like nothing in C on our list.
I know, our middle of the road is pretty blank. But I think that's kind of like how it is.
Yeah, there's the good ones. And then there are not.
Yeah.
You could combine C and D on our list, honestly.
You probably could. But we're not. Look at that nice Quake Hammer in B tier. Lucky Day, Pretty Lucky was in B tier. That's amazing. Look at that.
All the luck badges. Except Lucky Day. Somehow that one's lower.
So.
No, don't fricking show that 64 partner thing. Why the frick is Sushi above what? I don't understand this.
We're not talking about 64. Shh, shh. That's another stream.
Yeah, multi-bounce is like the weirdest freaking thing in this list.
Charge was under. Oh no, it still is. Oh, this is the same. Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking.
There's not a ton that's changed, honestly.
There's a few differences here and there, but like overall,
we were way better on multi-bounce then, and as a result, that's why Spike Shield and Ice Power is so much higher.
Oh yeah, that's true. I feel like comparing, now that it's C tier, it makes way more sense to see it drop like the badges that help it most.
This is closer to where they were in the 64 list too. In fact, that's exactly where they are in the 64 list, except Ice Power. Which, I mean, Ice Power is better in that game. You have +2 attack power.
Yeah, it's wild.
Even if it is only on one boss. It's kind of indispensable on that one boss.
Yeah, you were right, dude. Look at that clean 6 on the top. The clean 6 on the top. Everyone
Not
knew.
even close.
Everyone knew. Interesting that Flower Saver P.
I think that's just that was just a fluke of how the votes came out. Like there were 2 A's for Flower Saver, and I was borderlining. Or I think there were like 3 A's for Flower Saver and 2 for P.
Gotcha.
And just because of how many people were voting, it was just barely not enough to push it over. Like these were they ordered? I don't think they're ordered within tiers.
No. It was the order that we did them in.
Yeah, that's what it was. So yeah.
It was the order that we did them in for the 64 as well.
And given that we only had like 10 or 15 people voting for most of these, is they like that's not enough precision to like
Yeah.
tell exactly where things should place. Like
All
there
in
are error
all-
bars on all of these.
I think...
We
Yes.
underrated the plus badges. That's my biggest takeaway.
Huh? Sorry, what'd you say?
We underrated HP and FP plus. That's my biggest takeaway and pet peeve
Good,
with this
sure,
list.
Sure. FP Plus and C.
Also, you can blame me for the danger badges that are in S tier not being in S tier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were on the Power Rush is better than Power Rush P.
I mean, yes, that's true.
Yeah. But here, we had Power... Well, but never mind. They're the same tier. Yeah, I don't know. That's wild. Wow. It's kind of... It's really interesting, actually. I would like to do another community, but... It is. Feeling Fine P is seriously bad. Oh, well, I wouldn't stop you if you put it in your own personal F tier cloud.
Oh, I wouldn't either. Like,
Yeah.
I honestly, it's like I could see these being an F easily.
I think Feeling Fine a little. I think Feeling Fine has a you're saving the person who dies and you game over.
Yeah,
Feeling Fine P is okay. One partner gone. Next.
you're saving them from going slowly. You're saving them from getting confused.
I love how Happy Flower is in C tier. I think that's great.
Hey man, don't look at my old tier, my super old tier list. It was probably like top 15.
Look at Close Call. Close Call P though? Nah.
No,
It's funny.
we need to get Coops okay on this new list.
There's no way. I might agree with a fair chunk.
Wait, what do you think he wouldn't agree with?
I don't
on
think
this?
he would like Quake Hammer.
Being that low or that high.
Low. Sure. I think he's a fan of Quake Hammer.
Hey, I was a fan of Quake Hammer. I've changed.
I guess that's true. I don't know.
I mean, I'm still a fan of it.
I
It's
think
just
he- I think-
it's a very unfortunate placement.
I think
It's
he would probably put Quick Change in S tier. He's done a lot of those kinds of videos though, where really like show what it's stupidly capable of.
Look, I'm just thinking of his freaking peril mode thing, where it's like, if you die in one hit and don't have use for quick change, except in the final battle, like,
Well,
that is really like a
wait,
telling
he didn't.
case
Oh
for
man,
its
it's right. I guess he
unoptimal-
didn't really use Quick Change too much. He just used a lot of Shell Shield.
Yeah, it's like that's a really telling case of like how niche it is to use multiple partners in a battle.
I guess that's true. Damn.
Because he's very much like me in the like keep your level as low as
Yes,
physically possible
absolutely.
crowd.
I don't think he'd argue with top 6, or at least top 5, for sure.
Like P up D down P. There's room for disagreement about that and putting Fire Drive in there just because of its like weird placement so
I mean,
late.
if we're really like being honest, it should probably just be like those top 5 in S tier, and then the rest, because like those top 5 are clear cut. I feel like above the rest. Like you're using those 5 all the time. But
Yeah, but then you just have a really bloated A.
I know. That's which is fine.
Because then you have to put Fire Drive there. You're not going to put Fire Drive above the other 5 in S tier. Not all 5 of them, surely.
I don't think Fire Drive is S without what it does for challenge running, like especially in pits. Otherwise, it's just fine.
It's better than Quake Hammer.
That's for
it's
sure.
Probably C at that point.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, this is a solid list. I'm happy with what we came up with. I think it turned out.
You need to finish
pretty
Black
damn
Pit so
good.
you can do
I
one of those
Soon, don't
roguelike
worry.
tier lists.
Don't worry, a Black Pit roguelike tier list is coming. I love tier
You'll discover how amazing group focus is.
I gotta do a Dark Star tier list when I finish that.
Oh gosh, I don't even
challenge
want
run.
to think about that. There's gonna be like, aren't there like a freaking 128 badges in the game now?
Can't wait, dude. It's gonna be a
Ridiculous.
crazy tier list. It's gonna be wild. But that's not for a long time. I have to beat that game. But I think this is good. This is a really solid list. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Yeah. Dope. Dope. I'm gonna save this list, but I need to log in first. So I'll do that. Oh, hey.
Send me a link to this.
Hey, this is the one you made.
Oh, that's why it's correct.
We were talking earlier. He was like, "Man, I'm really impressed that they were all ordered in the way the game did it." Well, there you go.
It's like I knew. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely send you a link to this. I will be posting it in my Discord as well, and on Twitter and stuff. Speaking. There it is. All right, the video of this will go up probably in the next couple weeks. Yo, that's it for tonight. Thank you, Jdaster, for joining.
Yeah,
this was very fun, I think.
We've finally done it.
I know, we've been talking about it for so long. I'm very happy with how this list came out.